What's up, everybody? It's your boy Smellsworth. This is the Saltcast, the official podcast of the Salt Mine 1v1 tournament series. It's co-hosted by myself and the show match god, Johnny Boy. Each week, we interview pros and figureheads from the Rocket League community to find out their backstories and how they got to where they are now. The show is recorded live on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/smellsworthless every Tuesday or Wednesday. So sometimes you might hear references to the chat or the inevitability of me messing up audio production, and occasionally something doesn't translate well to audio. Stick with us. We're getting better at these things every show, and if you'd like to, obviously come by and catch the show live every week. The show will be published on all podcasting platforms, YouTube, and on Twitch. If we happen to miss your platform, send me a message. We'll fix it right away. You can find all these releases, the stream schedule, and more at my site, smelly.af. That's right. Smelly.af. Now it's time to enjoy the show. Sunlesskhan! Can I get an audio check from you guys?
I'm jealous. I didn't get a really cool yell intro, but Sunless sounded great. That was good.
Yeah, that was probably the best intro I've ever had.
Really?
No doubt. I mean,
sick.
Definitely.
I'll take it. I'm feeling pretty proud already.
Incredible. My ego's already just like through the roof.
Anytime you need me to do it, man, just tell me where and when to be there. You know?
Yeah, can you just be my hype man?
Yes.
That would be awesome.
That's essentially the role I fulfilled for Johnny, to be totally blunt. You know, everybody's
Pretty
like,
much, yeah.
He's just repeating what he says on these casts. And you know what? That's what a hype man does, okay?
Genius. Yeah, just say the joke louder, you know.
Exactly.
Or just be like, hey guys, isn't that funny? And just, yeah, that's what I need. I need someone to just like hype me up. I'm not hype enough.
Johnny's like, oh, he beaned it. And I'm like, yeah, you beaned it.
Apparently, Sunless is a bit quiet, by the way.
Sunless is a bit quiet. All right, I'm pumping him up. Thank you, chat. Chat.
More power.
Chat, the audio engineer. Oh yeah, I meant to bring Johnny down, and then I put up Sunless. So, all right, chat. How's the levels
Testing.
now?
Testing.
Am I too quiet, as the chat would say? Too quiet?
Too quiet. He's very
Too
quiet.
quiet. I am
So
quite.
quiet. I don't understand how you're both like maxing at the same level. So I don't understand why someone.
I could just put my face right up in this mic. Is
There
that
you
better?
go. There you go.
Yeah, it
I
usually
can just
more
speak up.
Sunless lighter still. He says, or they're saying.
Man. Okay. Interesting.
Cranked on my end.
Interesting. Yeah, you're pretty loud in my ear too. But you know, let's get rid of this hearing. Let's get rid of my insanely good hearing ability despite my age. All right.
You ever had your ears tested? Is that a thing?
Yeah, I got my ears and eyes tested recently. I'm the only person in my family without like glasses. Like everyone in my immediate family has glasses besides
And
me.
have you had lots of eye tests because of that? Did you know? Or have you just thought your whole life like, man, everything's really blurry? Like, and then you get eye tests, you're like, oh my goodness, I needed glasses this whole time.
I had a friend at that went to a Lakers game, and he was with another buddy, and they're like in their 20s, they're like just graduated, they're consulting, whatever, and they're like watching. He's like, "Oh man, that dunk was amazing by Kobe." He's like, "How could you tell it was Kobe?" You know, it's so like hard to tell
You guys
from
can
here.
read signs.
It's so hard to tell from here. And he's like, "Dude, I think you're blind." And so he actually gave him his glasses, and he said it was you know those videos where you see like a deaf person gets a cochlear implant and they hear for the first time, or somebody puts on the glasses and they're like, I see colors. It was totally like that for him. He put them on and he's like, oh my God, I have terrible vision and I had no idea. So he discovered like mid-20s that he just couldn't see anything. He couldn't see Kobe.
That's crazy.
You couldn't tell it was Kobe.
Yeah.
And then these stadiums aren't like you should be able to see that kind of information. I've never been to an NBA game, but that's like
I don't think there's a seat that's so far that you wouldn't use binoculars.
It's not like
to
a
tell who's dunking.
gigantic stadium, because I've been in a few stadiums where I'm like, okay, I don't know who that was, you know, because it's like it's so far away. You're like, you don't actually know who it is, but that's what the commentary's for.
Yeah, not in basketball.
Basketball you should be able to see that, right?
You should be able to see the details.
Yeah. And the other guy could clearly see it, right? So, you know, that's anyway. Pretty funny. But no, I went to the eye doctor and he was just like, yeah, you're chill. I was like, oh, okay, still?
Wow.
All right, cool. It had been forever.
How do they test your ears? Obviously, the eye thing is just you read small letters in the wall, right?
They have little headphones. They have, or big headphones rather, that are isolating. Kind of like what he's wearing right now. It actually looks like Smellsworth is about to take a hearing test.
I'm testing my hearing right now. Yeah.
You just forgot to take off the hearing test headphones. You brought them home with you.
It's true.
He's still doing the test. It's a long form study on his hearing.
You guys, the medical system here in France is pretty crazy. You could just take stuff home. You could just rent it. You take it home. It's like Netflix DVD service when that was around. You know, it's
they're like, we want to make sure your hearing is perfect.
Oh, that's good. Whoa! I've never heard French. Sunlesskhan. That's
somebody's fluent.
Frenchless it's me.
French.
That doesn't make sense. That'd be the
French.
Definitely not Frenchless.
Frenchful.
Yeah. Frenchful con.
I think French is one of the easiest accents to do. Everything else is hard.
Because we grow up with like all of our movies are just like French people suck, and it's just like a guy who's like,
it's always the bad guy.
It's a common accent, and it's always a common accent that's not. It's always done poorly on purpose in movies. It's like a really overdone accent. So I think because they overdo all of the French like sayings in movies, you can pick up on it a lot more easily. The accents are harder to pick up, or ones that you don't have that popular culture integration.
Yeah. I mean, it's also a distinct like different language. Like I think British accents are harder because it's still English, you know? So it's like you got to modify what you're already saying. But French, it's like you're just imitating someone that just, has English as a second language. So you're kind of imitating another language anyway. But
you only really know
with Italian. It's like
you only notice things people say differently, or they like the things that really stick out. In French, I think everything is like that. They have,
exactly.
A unique way of saying all these words in English. Then they people like Farah. We had Farah on the podcast, and he was like judging himself so hard. Like he thinks he's got terrible English, even though his English is perfect.
Yeah, the French have a reputation for terrible English, and so a lot of them, even the ones that are very competent and fluent in English, they sort of take that criticism on themselves as well. It's kind of
maybe Farah. Do you think Farah's ashamed of being able to speak English well, and he's trying to downplay himself to fit in? He's like telling everybody, I'm terrible
in English. A
couple
times. I barely even knew he was French just from talking to him.
Yeah, don't say that. He's going to get so embarrassed.
Yeah, now he's going to thicken it up a little bit. He's going to back off.
Yeah, he's going to start speaking poorly to appear more French. Maybe.
Yeah, he's too good at English.
Fitted. Blended. It's like, man, very big kid up are never going to play right to me anymore. My English was complimented too much. Yeah, the French Rocket League community is killing the game these days. Not just like with results, but the Very Peak streaming now. He's getting tons of views.
Is he?
Yeah.
Nice.
Very Peak.
Dude, I saw a clip.
They only speak French on stream as well.
I saw a clip of him. No, I thought it was old, but now that you're saying that he's streaming recently, it must have been from recently.
Yeah,
because I had never seen a Fairy clip or a Fairy Peak clip before, because did he even stream before? But he was like, he got up and he was like in his underwear.
Oh yeah.
So
wait, what?
Yeah, there's one where he's just wearing underwear. Yeah,
he like stands up and he's like, oh, and he's just like, it's amazing. I was just like, where did they find this? But it must have been recent because like you said, he's streaming.
Hey man, it's hot. It's hot here. Air conditionings don't exist here most of the time, so it was probably just hot.
Yeah, it was hot.
I get it. I do it a lot of times.
It was hot. I mean, I'm looking for the clip right now. Somebody please give me this clip.
I think I saw it on the Rocket League Out of Context, one of those Twitters.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of those meme Twitters.
I saw it as well. I don't remember where I saw it. It was it's pretty good.
It was fantastic.
Quickly, thank you guys for the follows and the subs. Appreciate it. It's mighty generous of you. Welcome to the pizza party. Sunless, my man. We've been hyped on this. You're the first YouTuber to come on the show.
Yeah, you said the saltiest YouTuber.
Is that how you introduce yourself to when people when you meet people in real life, they ask, "What do you do?" Do you say, "I'm a YouTuber"? Is that your go-to?
Yeah, but I don't just say it like that. I really build up to it in like the meekest way possible, like the most ashamed way possible. I'm like,
wait, okay, so let's try it then. Your wife's introducing you. This is my husband, Sunless. She probably doesn't say that.
No, she does. Sunless. Like, what the fuck kind of name is that?
Sunlesskhan.
No, but usually I'm just like, actually, like they're like, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, well, actually,
about that,
I am a YouTuber. Like I say it very like weirdly.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably not even like that. And they're just like, oh, interesting. And I'm just like, yeah, it's interesting.
And then
That's
see when people see the size of your channel, are they like, "Whoa, okay, look at this guy, like that he's actually famous," or what's the?
Well, I don't usually bring up the subs like straight away. That would be
What if they
kind of
like,
interesting.
the reason I ask you this is people ask me this as well, like, "What do you do?" And YouTuber is a very easy explanation to someone who doesn't follow esports, or like no normal people know what Twitch is or esports.
Right.
So everybody knows YouTube. So I actually say that most of the time. I'll just tell people I'm a YouTuber because I don't want to have to explain like what Twitch or esports is. YouTuber is just an easy thing. And then the follow-up questions are always, "Oh, what's your channel?" So they can search it and check it, like my channel.
Yeah.
And like, do you get paid for doing that? Like, do you get these questions as well? People like, do they see
but it's
channel?
just way more awkward when people ask my channel, because you can say Johnny Boy and it makes sense because your name is John, but I have to be like, it's Sunlesskhan. And they're like, they're gonna type in, they're like, what'd you say? I'm like, Sun, like Sunless. I have to like spell it out. And they're like, what's that? I'm just like, it's just my name, man. I'm sorry.
But didn't you do a random name generator for that name?
Yeah. Then I tell that story. I'm like, it's actually the more I explain it, actually, the more confusing it gets. It's the opposite of helpful.
I just avoid I doubt it, dude. I doubt it. I bet you're the life of the party because you're the only interesting one there. You go to these parties and you're like, yeah, I used a random name generator. Now 953,000 people follow that random name I made up. This random thing online.
Yeah, man. I guess it depends on the demographic of the party, right?
Yeah, true. So
every once in a while, there's some guy that like knows about YouTube or he watches YouTube a lot, and he's like really into it, and everyone else is just like, what the fuck? I don't care. I'm an engineer. Like, oh, that's interesting, But yeah, it just depends on who knows about the YouTube world. The people that know about it or I've heard about it, they get it right away. They're like,
and they're the only people who are interested in that, and like the only people who have follow-up questions, or the people who don't know anything about that world. They don't really ask any other questions. They're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, because the more I explain it, the more it's just like, they're just like, so how do you get paid? I'm like, well, it's through ads because advertisers. Maybe it's the way I explain it. Maybe I'm just
I think you're just explaining this really badly. I don't know. Maybe.
They're like, how do you get paid? And I'm like, well, it's through the ads. I was like, so there's an ad share program. Advertisers pay on. See what I'm saying? See the way it works.
What I always say, I just say YouTube put ads on all the videos on their platform,
right?
And then you get paid. If there's adverts in your video, you get paid a percentage of that revenue. That's what I would say. Exactly. I don't know. Like I must have a very different experience than you, because people are always really like interested. They always have follow-up questions.
Yeah,
they're always
I'm probably pulling it up.
Like, do you get paid? I'm like, yeah, definitely. Like, what other questions do people always ask in this context? Oh yeah, like when they find out that you're only doing Rocket League videos, are they concerned by this? Are they concerned that you're very much like making videos on one game and not lots of games and spreading your wings? Is this a concern? Is this a concern lots of people have had when they talk to me about it?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
like,
people
think do other games.
Yeah, people are always like, "Oh, you should really look into doing other games. What if the game dies?"
Have you considered FIFA?
Or yeah, they'll start telling me about their game that they think it would be really good and would make great videos. I'm like,
really? You actually get suggestions on your channel from random people?
Yeah, like
that's crazy. No, I never.
No, maybe not so much random people, but people that will ask me about like what I do.
The only thing I can think of is like I was talking to my dentist about it. She was like,
she
was excited about it, but she was
pulling out your wisdom tooth. You're like,
yeah, it's classic.
I remember you just
so no wonder she didn't understand. Channel. Yeah, no wonder. I was just like, the ad set program.
That's interesting. We sound like we've got very different like.
Let me tell you about how the algorithm for the ads work, because that's important to the story.
Yeah, I lose them at the algorithm part. I don't get it. I'm explaining precisely the viewership and click-through rates, and they just tune out.
Yeah, that's interesting. But like, at what point did like you must have had this transition period? Well, I think we're gonna like ask more about that, Matt. Are we
We're gonna ask a lot of questions. I mean, I guess we could start with like when did you start with Rocket League? And does your channel predate Rocket League, or did it become a Rocket League channel?
No, there was a distinct time in my channel's history where I was like I was new to the scene. Like I was like Johnny was big for like
he's
half a
gonna
year
start
before I
flexing on
was.
me. He's gonna say, "Oh, back when Johnny had more subs than me." Yeah. I knew it was going.
But yeah. So no, like F2 was like in their prime when I started. So, or just entering their prime, their peak, right when I started. So I was kind of late to the game, really, as far as that first generation of YouTubers. I'm in like the second gen.
Okay.
You say you're generation 2?
I would say like Floomp and like myself and like who else? Mertz. Well, Mertzy's like Gen 1 kind of, but he peaked in Gen 2. You know, it's complicated
True,
history
he
here.
blew up in Gen 2. You need to make a documentary about this, really.
I do. Musty is like Gen 3. Like
he's a Zoomer.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, he's the Zoomer. But there's some other great ones too that are in that. There's actually more as it goes on. Like Gen
that make
3
me one of the
like
boomers in this story. I would say, like, obviously my channel's pretty old, so
you are a boomer, yeah. But
I'm a boomer here.
The ones to be proud of are the ones that are Gen 1 still like a top channel, you know. So you have
I wonder what that's like.
No, you're still you've actually diversified. You're on multiple channels. YouTube and Twitch.
Well, I mean, see, the thing with my channel I realized recently is every time that I run a big tournament on my channel, that's like a channel peak, you know, all-time views, all-time watch time, everything's peaking. And then after, it's like everything's trash. It's like when I just go back to like what I usually do, everybody's like, "Whoa, this sucks," in comparison to the tournaments you run, which is fair. You know, it kind of does. Like I think the tournaments are way better, but you can't run those all year because there's just like so much work going into them. So yeah, maybe I'll run another tournament and get my channel back to life. But
I actually remember hearing about you, Sunless, first from Johnny. He's like, "There's this guy, and someone finally made a good tactical Rocket League video." Is basically how he described it. And he's like, you got to watch his shadow defense video. It's really good. So he was big into the best defense in Rocket League.
What was that series called?
Why you suck at Rocket League?
That's what it's called.
Episode 16. I'm looking at it right now. I'm doing some some research here.
Was that the series that really got your channel like rolling initially, or just one of them?
Yeah, no, that was the main one. In fact, my channel was pretty much just surviving off of that series for like the first year and a half, really. But that's kind of all I had. Like it was pretty plateaued. I was a pretty mediocre YouTuber for like a year. I mean, I had that series, which was cool, but like my channel wasn't really going anywhere for a long time until like it was actually like it's so weird because I feel like my channel growth is completely affected by new YouTubers coming onto the scene, because it wasn't until like Floop came around, and I'm trying to think of who else. Mertzy started getting more popular. Those two like starting to get really popular, and like Linkaroo and those guys starting to get more views, that I like really started to grow more. It's kind of weird. I don't know if it was just like inspiration. I think it was. Like I would see like other people doing stuff and I'd be like, man, I could do way better if I, did X, Y, and Z.
You watch a Flimp video or a Linker video, you're like, wow, this sucks. I could do so much better than this.
No.
I'm gonna make this one better. Yeah. You guys heard it here.
Well, who's toxic? Whose videos were you watching where you're like, this sucks and I can do better? Who's
probably mine. Mine are the worst videos on YouTube. No editing, basically. Probably like
actually, it's funny that you say that, because I am going to make a confession. So I hope we were joking before, but there is actually some truth to that for some videos. It was actually, and I've never admitted this, so this is like a first time admission.
Okay,
but a clear
podcast exclusive.
Yeah, there you go.
Saltcast. Okay, go ahead.
So when I started to do the esports like documentary style videos, I've only done like 4 or 5, but like the first one I did was on the Justin Shot or whatever. I got that idea like almost 100% from watching this video from one of those Rocket League like montage editors. Have you heard of those channels? Like Cloud is one of them.
Yeah.
They're like kind of on the like, not a lot of people know about them because they don't have like channel personalities, because they're literally just montages, but some of them are really good and consistent. So they have like 100K subscribers. So they're somewhat popular, but Cloud did how could you even describe it? It was just like a highlight it was like he just went into the replay of that game with the Justin Shot, and like did this like cool edit. It was called This Is Rocket League. And I was watching it and I was like, this is really good. But it'd be sweet if we could actually have a breakdown of like what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
why
how I
it's
came up with that
important.
idea. It was directly from Cloud's video.
And this is the true story.
Yeah. It happens a lot.
Yeah, I guess you weren't really looking at that and being like, "Wow, I could do so much better than this." You're like, "Oh, I can do this differently." You're like, "Oh, this is cool." It's like more
that's what it
inspiration.
usually is.
More inspiration than let me fix this, I guess.
Yeah, it was different for sure. Like
But that doesn't
that's all
like
the best ideas. They're
that's
like
not
derivative.
clickbait. So we're gonna go with the toxic variation that we had.
Yeah, you
before,
can if you want. It was pretty bad, and I was like, this needs to be way better.
Yeah. So wait, just to put things in order again, or to rewind a little bit.
RL effects. Yeah, someone in the chat said it's RL effects.
Yeah. I have seen that before. Yeah.
I get those two mixed up because they're very similar. They're actually both really solid editors. Like they should probably get a little more recognition. But I
don't think RLFX is an editor. I think RLFX is the channel, and he hires editors to make videos. Because I think the videos are all done by different people.
Interesting.
I'm not 100% sure on that, but I heard that from someone, and I was like, that does make sense because I don't know if RLFX, the guy who owns the channel, is in fact an editor, or if he's just like, he edits some of the videos. Maybe somebody in Twitch chat knows, because I'm not too familiar with that. Yeah, he had the Jesse montage, one of the best videos on YouTube for Rocket League for sure.
It's just a compilation of Jesse getting mad, right?
Oh, it's a compilation of Jesse getting really mad, and then at one point it did the twist where he starts popping off as well. So it had both. It had like 7 minutes of him failing, and then maybe 4 minutes of him actually like scoring and making big plays and getting hyped. So yeah, that was an awesome video. I love that. That's super cool. And we're not saying like to try to put doubt on that channel at all. I think that's a cool idea, even if it isn't one dude doing all the editing. That's a great idea. Just get a place for all these awesome montages come together and have all these editors have their place. I think that's what's happening. But
I actually have respect for those like clip aggregators. Like I have no problem with I don't know. I guess I'm not the one getting my clips stolen, but like if I was a pro, I would be fine with, and I think most pros are fine with that. But I would be fine with editors taking my clips and like putting it all in one thing, and like I don't know. It's just more exposure for the scene, and like it's good entertaining content just to watch like the top, whatever. He has different videos like the top goals on the Reddit on the subreddit, or like pros hitting crazy shots week 67, like those serve a purpose, just generally.
I mean, and it's like regardless of whether a pro likes it or not, it is transformative. So it's not like they can do anything about it. So
right.
Yeah, I think for the most part it's fine. It's I think some people get mad when literally somebody will just take a video of their like Twitch clips or something from a week. They're just like all the best Twitch clips that somebody's had for a week, and they're just all cut together. There's no like editing or nothing more than that. It's just like they take a bunch of clips like that. Obviously, that doesn't belong on a random channel. It belongs in the channel of the guy who owns that Twitch channel. It belongs to that guy. That's a different story.
Yeah, there's definitely a line.
Together, and there's a clear topic and creativity going into it. Then I think it's fine. Not an issue at all.
So far, Sunless has come on the pod and trashed all other YouTubers, and then said that people shouldn't be babies about getting their content stolen. Yeah, must be nice, Mr. 950,000 subs.
Hey, that's one of my favorite topics recently. Getting tons and tons of viewing parties of my stream from people who make a big deal about their content getting stolen. Just it's great to bask in the hypocrisy. I really enjoy it, but I think it's fine. What do you think about viewing parties on this on Twitch? What's your take on those?
Oh, I think it's great. I think it's awesome. I think it benefits pretty much everyone. Like the RL esports doesn't need like, I mean, what are we talking about? Like 5,000 viewers? That's huge for any Twitch channel. But it's nothing for the RL esports channel. So
I agree.
It's great that they let people do that.
Yeah, and I don't think it takes away from the RL Esports channel. When RL Esports season 1, when the channel first went live for the first time, I think that's different, and I think that people need to understand the context of that, because back then, I criticized people who wanted to stream their own games or restream that, because I feel like when it's a small channel and just looking to grow, you probably shouldn't be trying to like take views away from that. Like if somebody's doing a viewing party of a stream that's smaller than their channel, like that's when it gets a little bit questionable. Like, are you really helping them out? Are you getting their stream attention? I'm not sure if you are. I think maybe you're actually just taking their views away, because people always want to go. I mean, it's really weird on Twitch, right? The views are just showing. You see how many people are watching, like, and everybody always wants to watch the stream that's most viewed. Like,
right.
no other.
You want to
I
be
don't
with the
think any
crowd.
other. This is a very like internet age like broadcasting thing. It's like the view count, and everybody's like, "Oh, what are people watching? What's the hype? What's the most viewed?" Like that. You don't get that on like TV, but I don't think it's really a problem. I think it does kind of naturally sort the good content, and filter out the bad content. So
it also
it's definitely a
snowballs.
thing.
Like, I feel like sometimes the same thing happens on YouTube in a way, but I feel like it actually lets bigger creators kind of get away with more, because like there's certain content that I could probably put out that's probably not as good as some other person's version, but like everyone's gonna watch mine because I just have this history of content, So it lets you ease up in a way. But the problem is, if you do that too much, then it does correct itself. If your content starts to get crappy, like people notice it, and you'll lose it. So there's still like a fire to always like be peaking, getting more hype. So
I was gonna rewind us a bit, because some people, well, a lot of people probably already know, but your background before being a YouTuber, and while you started your YouTube channel, was video editing, right? You were still working at full time, as far as I know, while your channel got started. It's only a while later that you decided to switch to full time YouTube. How did that all come about? What's the background on your real life skill set and job?
Yeah. So I was an editor, and so I had the channel as a side thing for quite a while. Like, it was, I started the channel in the spring of 2017, and I didn't leave my job until, like, I didn't become a full-time YouTuber until January of 2018. So it was like a solid
Almost a
year
year.
and a half. Yeah. I guess that's not that long, but it felt long. Or was it 2019? Wait a second. It was the beginning of 2019, so it was a while.
So it's more than a year. You're 9 months ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm only a year and 3/4 full time now. So yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, so I waited a while. Like, I waited till it was an absolute no-brainer. And actually, well, I made my decision, and then my channel like really blew up. So by the time I was actually leaving my job after I'd made the decision 4 months ago, it was like it was getting ridiculous. Like, the income was just like dwarfed by my YouTube. It was just like it'd be so stupid not to. But when I made the decision, it was like around what I was making. So it was like having 2 jobs. And so it was like, I could probably do this, but the one was still more steady, because the other one was like a real job. Although ironically, now YouTube is probably the more steady of the jobs.
Yes, it is.
But it has peaks and troughs. Like, YouTube revenue is much higher in December, and it drops off immensely in January, because advertisers are not paying for those ad spots in January compared to December, and then it kind of just builds up throughout the year. Every month is a little bit better than the previous one, but then in like November, December, it climbs up a lot, because obviously advertisers are paying tons for those ad slots near Christmas.
Yeah, there's still ups and downs, but like by the time I made the decision, it was like there was no hesitation. Like, my only regret is that I hadn't done it sooner. But then again, I wasn't really thinking about that either, because it was just perfect. It was really perfect. There was no, I wouldn't have done it differently, honestly. Because I was able to balance it. Like, my job was so it was demanding, but it was also not. I had a pretty good job. Like, I only worked 4. Yeah, it was very manageable. We had a 4-day work week. That was actually how I was even able to start the channel.
Perfect.
Really. I had Fridays to myself. So I had a long weekend where I would work on YouTube. So, so I was able to balance that for a little bit.
Did you always want to be a YouTuber when you were a kid? Or is it like something you always had an interest in?
I wanted to have a channel on the side. Like, I thought it'd be really cool if I had it as a hobby and it made a little bit of money in addition to my real job. I think that was kind of my dream. So no, I didn't ever see it as like I didn't really know people could even be full-time YouTubers until like 2015. When I started hearing about, like, the reason I heard about it was because of like various YouTube drama things, where they'd be like, he makes this much money and like he does this, and like this guy's exploiting this, and look how much he's making. And I was just like, holy shit, what? These guys are actually millionaires? Like, this is, this is bit like you could actually be like these are like B-list celebrities basically. Like I didn't realize that at all.
Mm,
I thought YouTubers barely made anything. So that's
yeah,
when I was like, oh, you know what? If I could just have a small to medium sized channel, I bet I could just have a nice little thing on the side. So
another
that's how
revenue
I viewed
stream.
it. Yeah, because I was like, if they're making that much, now those are huge channels, and I'll never be that. But if they're making that much, then I could probably like almost make a living if I just had something small,
Yeah.
which was true.
But you
And then,
enjoyed it, so it's like win-win. Like,
yeah,
did it feel like work, or were you just like, "This is cool, I'm making content I
no,
like"?
yeah, it
'Cause
did
it
not
seems
feel
like the
like work.
content you make is content you like, which is a big difference. When people are making content they don't like just because it gets views, you can tell that they don't really, like, enjoy it, and
Hmm.
they're just, like, trying to grind it out for as long as it makes money, but
Yeah,
it
no,
doesn't
I
come across
loved it
in your
because I
videos at all.
all my free time that was what I did. So it was like such a dream when like even my holidays, like Thanksgiving break, I was like, yes, I have 5 days to work on YouTube. This is like amazing. Like Christmas, well, we'd travel a lot on Christmas, so I wouldn't get to.
Mm.
But any day off, so my Fridays, my day off was just like all day I'd work on videos. And that was just like I loved it.
Nice.
And so
Do you
it
like the video?
so
Sorry, go ahead.
go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was gonna ask you like the video editing part. Do you like the channel setup part, the operational kind of stuff behind it, or you just really like the creative part, like the video editing and creation?
It's more about the final product. Like I like uploading and like polishing off a video. So the putting it together and like the editing at the beginning is actually just that's just plain work. Like there's nothing really fun about that, to be honest. But I mean, it was still, I was editing really boring stuff at work. Not super boring, but it'd be like interviews, like or corporate commercials.
Yep.
So
Mm.
compared to that, I was making videos about Rocket League. So it was like cake compared to that. It was fun.
Mm. Who were
It,
your Rocket League, like, Rocket League, like, content creator inspirations? Because 'Cause I've heard you talk about, I definitely heard you talk about League of Rockets before, or, like, how you always looked at that content. Was there, like, other channels that you were like, "Oh, man, that's cool. Yeah, I need to
yeah,
try my hand at that."
that was a big one because I did kind of the cinematic thing, but he did it so much better. And so that was one where I was like, oh wow, that's way better than I could probably ever do. And then on the other hand, it'd be like I'd see Neat Mike and John, and I'd be like, how can they upload that much? Like I'd never be able to do that either.
Mm,
And I'd see Mike's videos, which were like edited, and they were like 10 minutes long. And I'd be like, how in the world could I ever make a 10-minute long edited video? I could just never do it without being full time, which was true because my like the Why You Suck videos that I was doing on the side, or like just my entire channel while I had a full time job, it was all like 4-minute videos. Like I could never, if they were edited,
mm,
there's no way I could ever spend the time to make longer edited videos until I was full
mm.
time.
That's interesting. But, yeah,
So
I guess the YouTube world was pretty small back then, so, like, the the F2 guys were by far the big YouTube names, and then, yeah, I think
yeah, it was all F2.
League of Rockets was, like, this very small channel, but it could have easily, like, blown up. It's such a shame that that didn't happen later when I think it would have blown up, because back then, it was actually much harder to gain, like, a ton of subs from a few videos
Yeah,
on Rocket League YouTube compared to now. Looking at some of
yeah,
the content that just blows up now, I'm like, "Wow."
yeah, yeah.
If
Creators
I
have it so easy now
Oh,
in
it's
Rocket
super
League.
easy. But it's funny because a lot of people thought that when more and more creators and more channels came along, it would be harder, but I agree with you, I think it just got easier, like,
No,
to
the audience is so much bigger. Like,
yeah. But can you imagine if League of Rockets happened, like, in the Zoomer generation? Holy cow.
yeah.
Like, yeah, people would have although, yeah, would people? Because
Then
yes,
again, I
yes,
mean,
they would
that's
have
still
liked
pretty
it, but
niche.
yeah, and
Like
it is
Zoomers
because
don't really go for the cinematic thing, to be
I was
honest.
gonna
It's too
mention that as well,
boring,
like,
too
it's
slow.
it yeah, he missed, like, the Rocket League being a huge thing in YouTube wave that, currently is happening, but, um, yeah, the videos that do the best seem to just be the very generic YouTube-y style videos,
Yeah,
clickbait, which I don't think is a bad thing. Clickbait is, like, fine. You got like, really, you gotta get people to look at your thumbnail and title and be like, "Oh, yeah, I wanna click on that." And then when they watch the video, it's, like, good enough that they watch the whole thing. That seems to be the
yeah,
metrics that the algorithm likes. So, longer videos or, esportsy kinda content doesn't tend to do as well. And, that
yeah.
kinda
Unless you
cinematic
do it,
stuff doesn't do as well.
unless you got something really compelling and it's really well edited and like draws them in. So if you can do that, then you're set. But that takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
So then it's like, then you can't do it very frequent. So then it's like, then you're up against that.
Did you do any videos on anything else but Rocket League in the beginning? Because I looking at your first video was a Rocket League one where everyone gets Rising Star.
Yeah, I did a couple. I think they might be unlisted, so you might not be able to find them.
That's what I was curious.
You went back
to
unlisted all the old videos.
Yeah, I did.
All the bad ones. How dare you? I've got
not all the bad ones. I kept
first
some bad
video
ones.
still on there. The very first one. It doesn't make sense. It's just still there. History.
I kept some bad ones, but no, yeah, I should have. I actually do have my very first one not listed, so I'm not quite on your level. But I should probably unlist, or I should probably like make it public.
You should just do a review. We should do a react video of it.
React
to my first video.
Oh my goodness, easiest content ever.
It's so boring. It's just me explaining the. It's just my voice.
Well,
in a headset mic explaining the Rocket League trainer.
You know what would make it really cool is well, maybe not that one. That one does sound really fucking boring, but but if you took another one where you tried, like it was like, oh, this would have had potential, right? And you went back and you analyzed it and you were like, why did it fail? From like a sort of like I've developed my craft perspective, because I think that's something that people would want to hear from you, you know. I would at least, like, you know, a lot of the questions I'd written down for tonight are all about like, oh, how did you do this, and how did you get better, and all these types of things. But I think that would be interesting. I think I'm going to do this actually, Johnny. I wanted to ask you. I want to do this with our casts, because what I've like, there's not a lot of content out there on like how to become a better caster or commentator on anything. Right. I found some, but it's hard to find. And so I was thinking like, oh man, what if I just like played some of my casts and I watched it with somebody else who's like very good, and they just point out all the ways that I fucked up really badly, or like, you know, just you know, sort of trash me and
cast a review.
Yeah, like a self-deprecating sort of thing. I feel like this could be a really fun one to do. But yeah, I think that'd be really interesting to see you like you review an old video that didn't work and sort of explain why you think it didn't work and how you would redo it or whatever. That'd be very interesting.
I could probably talk a long time about that, like a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I did try other games, but it was mostly because I was trying to do volume. Like I was like, I can only do these Why You Sucks every Friday, and that takes a full day to edit. So I need to do something during the middle of the week. So I'll just like rush a stupid gameplay video on like PUBG or something, or some other random game that I found.
The popular game at the time.
Yeah, it was just blowing up.
But I think like for channels to get a ton of subs and then to blow up like that, I think daily uploading is probably not the way to do it with Rocket League. Definitely,
no,
like my thing with daily uploading all through my career with YouTube and well, by extension Twitch, because most of my YouTube content I stream, I just do live recordings essentially, was to make sure that I didn't slack, because I'm really lazy, and I knew that if I didn't make this like target for myself, that I would probably slack, and I would just like go like days, weeks without really making any content and not making the most of this opportunity that I've got. So that was my reasoning for it. But I think for people who are a bit like smarter with it and a bit more, well, definitely if you're more YouTube focused, because my thing is definitely still Twitch. I wouldn't really say I'm a YouTuber. I'm like still definitely not very good at YouTube. I just stream stuff. I just do live recordings and upload it. But yeah, for YouTube, it makes a lot more sense to do what you're doing.
Why would you say that a daily upload wouldn't be good?
Because it becomes a lot like, well, most people want to see shorter videos, which, you know, if the shorter you can keep a video, the more likely somebody's going to watch the whole thing. So the more likely it is that the YouTube algorithm will pick it up and get recommend it to tons and tons of people. That's how videos go viral, as far as I understand. Like
that's why I think you're better off focusing on those videos that like go viral, even though like viral doesn't necessarily mean like millions of views necessarily. It just gets recommended outside your like usual.
Exactly. I see. Like, yeah, usually if you watch a ton of my videos, for example, then when you go to YouTube, when you open up your homepage, there will probably be a bunch of my videos there. But if you don't watch a lot of my videos, then but you watch other Rocket League videos, it's not likely you'll see my videos appear, even though they are Rocket League videos, just because my audience is very like specific. and they kind of just watch my videos. Like you guys are all making these little clips that start your videos, Sunless, saying, "Look, what 70% of you are not subscribed to my channel." I don't really have that. Like mine's over 50 for my all-time
That's
stat.
crazy.
Yeah, very very niche, very focused. So I can't really follow the same.
I'd be interested to hear you
formula
guys compare your CPMs.
I don't even know. Never checked. I don't really know how CPMs work. Not gonna lie, I'm so not like clued up on like YouTube analytics. So I honestly don't
is
even
it
know.
uncouth to ask about somebody's CPMs, Sunless? I saw you kind of flinch there. I was just curious if that's I don't know if it's rude or not. I don't know. I don't know the etiquette around it.
I'm checking now.
No.
I don't mind.
Yeah, I was just trying to think.
They
kind of added the metric, so it's easier now. I think mine's like 6 something. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Or well,
it's not something I really pay attention to either, because like there's nothing you can really do about your CPM.
Depends on the
because it's just like your audience and like how much they're watching your videos. So it's like for me, it's just pointless to even look at that. It's like I'm gonna make the content I want to make.
Yeah.
And if it's not doing well, I need to do it better.
Yeah.
So it's like
it saves me like when you say that, I'm not I don't feel like I'm protective of that number at all. I honestly didn't even know. I don't know. I'm looking.
Yeah, because your CPM is just like
find it. I honestly don't know. I don't check that kind of thing. I don't think it's a big deal.
That's just how much people are like clicking on your ads, like how much you're getting paid per view.
Yes.
But it's not really in your control, because it's just like that's just the audience you have and the demographics of your audience is really what that is. So like other than like drastically adjusting your content, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah. But here you go, Silas. So somebody in chat knows.
Well, someone in chat said, "How dare you, Smells?" And the username is Silent Fart Bubble.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, I remember Silent Fart Bubble. So like, yeah, my channel, I think more of my views and watch time come from subscribers than non-subs, which shows that my videos really don't get clicked on or recommended to people outside of my subscriber base anywhere near as much as like your videos do, I'm sure.
What that means is when YouTube does offer your videos to non-subscribers, they're not clicking it.
Exactly, because it's niche.
So they don't try again.
Exactly. Or like it's yeah, and I think there's a few reasons for that. For me, I do like spoiler protection for some of my videos, so the viewer retention is really bad by nature of the fact that the last 2 matches in a best of 5 that ended up 3-0 are actually just replays. So nobody watches that. So then YouTube probably thinks, "Oh, that video sucks."
Kills your view time.
Yeah. I don't really mind. Like my goal with it is always to make good videos for the viewers I actually have. I'm not.
I see your channel. Your channel is almost just like it's almost like an extension of your Twitch, or not really extension. It's more of like a media hub than a typical YouTube channel. Like you're not trying to, you're not trying to appeal at these mass, you're not trying to grow this huge audience. You're just, you're being yourself.
I actually tried it once in 2017, I think it was, in the summer. I uploaded a bunch of like more stereotypical clickbait YouTube content. You probably saw or know some of them, like the car stacking videos.
Yep, the Merc stack. I was gonna say that.
Yeah, although I didn't get
your crazy pinch ones.
Yeah, could like fastest goal of all time, Dominus, domino effect goal, all this like clickbait nonsense. But some of them were really funny videos, to be fair. And now they have like millions of views. But I honestly, when I made those videos, there was like a month or 2 where I did this and I tried to like really focus in on more YouTube-y content. It worked. Like I got like way more views. But I was like, this isn't like what I don't know. This isn't like what I'm supposed to be doing. I didn't feel like I should be doing this. So I just went back to more like esports stuff. Like, because that's really what I like and what I got into it in the first place to do. And it had more synergy with the other things I'm doing. So, hey, Epic Toasty's watching though. He's like the main character in a lot of the videos I'm talking about that ended up like actually going viral. The ones I'm talking about. But yeah, it just didn't. I don't know. It didn't really fit what I'm about. So I was like, I didn't have as much fun doing that as making the most satisfaction I've had is by far running these like big esports tournaments, or big. Well, I say big community tournaments, I should say.
Yeah.
They're by far the most like rewarding experiences, although they can be frustrating at times and very difficult.
Yeah, and if you can still get some views off of that, then you found I mean, that's kind of what YouTube's about. It's just like finding the line between gaming the system and still having fun. So it's find that line, which is what I do too. Like that's
or reverse gaming the system, like what I do by putting like spoiler protection in your videos to anti-game the system. It is what it is,
Yeah.
But
For me, it's like stuff I already want to make. I just like make slight adjustments to make it a little more marketable. But like, it's pretty much what I want to do. Like all these like fun experiments is like pretty much the dream. Like it's what I've always
it
wanted
seems
to
like
do.
it's absolutely your style of content. I
Oh
just
yeah, I
can't
love
like
it.
for me, I'm like, I could never do this. I look at these videos like I couldn't do this. I just said, let's come up with these ideas. What on earth is this? What's the upside down?
Yeah, I
But
love
it
it.
works perfectly with your channel. It's so sick.
Have any of the videos you've made like drastically changed your outlook, or like maybe how you play the game or anything like that? Like any of these experiments like really like affected you far beyond than what you thought it would?
No, I don't think so. I think if anything, I've made videos about events and times and experiences that have changed, my outlook on the game or something drastic like that. Like that content comes out of that, but I don't think I've ever made something. Well, okay, there's some times where I'm in the process of something and I don't know. This is kind of vague, but like something will happen and it'll make me adjust the content based on, like my expectations are subverted sort of when I'm in the process of a video.
Got it. Maybe like
that's happened a couple times.
The video would change its like its thesis or something like that.
Yeah, right. Like I go in expecting something and then I make it and I'm like, oh shit, this is different. I kind of learned something. But usually I'll put that in the video and then it kind of just like it'll be one of those like
it's
I started out to do this.
Turn, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's happened a couple times, but usually no. It's usually not that deep, to be honest. Just kind of fun stuff.
You having some video troubles over there, Johnny?
I don't know why I'm green. Oh, I might have fixed it. There we go.
Yeah.
I was like,
oh yeah, you were kind of green.
You showed us your Pringles. What kind of what flavors other side?
That's
Are there Pringles all around you, actually?
No, there's just blood.
There's Pringles to the left. There's Pringles to the right.
There's no Pringles over here.
On your left.
I don't know. You look to your right. So I'm just going based off like when I
because I wasn't sure where they were.
Okay.
I was looking for them. Because I have actually I don't think I even finished. I can eat some of that Texas barbecue sauce Pringles. Definitely one of the best. I feel like salt and vinegar Pringles, I like them more, but whenever I eat them, they just my mouth is
you destroy your
so
mouth.
salty. Yeah. Oh man, I get
kind of like self-harm for chips, but it's so good.
Yeah, the salt and vinegar ones, they're the best, but oh man, the pain.
I mean, that's what hot food is too.
Like,
it's literally just mouth self-harm. You're just like, give me the pain.
Yes,
you're just like causing yourself torture. Your taste buds are getting off to it.
Man, totally. I love
food BDSM.
That's so funny. Did you guys hear when Marky said that by accident? He tried to say BDS and he was casting on the Rocket League stream. And he
said BDSM.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's really good.
That was
and they're really getting whipped out there.
Shackled up. In the backfield.
He's tied down in the box. That's great.
Oh, did I hear a safe word?
Oh, they're trying to tell him to stop and they just don't. Oh man.
Oh dear.
By the way, I didn't get to watch back. How was your guys' your cast for SSG the other night?
Oh, what a disaster! First SSG loss.
Short.
Yeah, you got eliminated the next series, right?
Yeah, one series. It was fun though.
It was kind of hard. It was harder than I thought it'd be. Even though I've tried to cast before, but it was kind of hard to like. I don't know. I couldn't really tell what was going on, to be honest. Like once I was in the lobby and I was so focused on what was happening, in a way, I was so not tense, but like so focused that I almost couldn't like collect my thoughts on a deeper level or on a broader level.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Like I feel like as a casual viewer, I almost could see more things because I was so like intent on trying to catch stuff. So
but
it would just come with time, I think.
Thinking about what you're saying, and it wasn't.
Yeah, I'm just like, I need to make an observation here, and then it's just like, well, fuck, I don't have anything.
Yeah.
Marty's told me the same thing. He's like, I don't know what to analyze. It's funny. It's interesting that's what people try to. Well, most when people come on for a first cast or a new cast, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to analyze, trying to provide insight. That's like the go-to. I think Matt, you said the same thing. When you were casting Saltmine 2 quals, or you said something similar. Like at one point you're like, oh man, yeah, it's hard. I think because you'd cast a lot with Marky, then when you cast it with me, you're like, oh man, I don't know, like, bunch of times. I'm like, what am I supposed to say here? Don't know what to think. But then I think
Yeah.
people are just overthinking, or maybe you guys
Well,
are just overthinking. 'Cause from my perspective, it was great.
I just think it takes reps. It's impossible to do it like your first time.
Yeah.
And there's so many levels of awareness that you have to have going on at the same time. It's like the awareness of what's happening in the game, the awareness of what you're going to say, especially if you're planning to say something. When will you be cued by your co-caster? What has your co-caster just said? So you don't say the same thing, which is my default, obviously.
I was like, did Johnny just say that?
Yeah. The other feeling is when you start a statement and then like part way through you're like, this is so dumb, and you're like,
our goal happens.
How do I get out of here? Like, how do I get out of finishing this dumb ass statement that I've just decided to say?
You got to be really good at just like salvaging your dumb statements. That's true. You just need a couple like go to like. And that's what they're doing. Like, and that's the pressure they're looking for.
Oh, the casterism
thing that could fit everything.
What makes them such a good team.
Yeah.
Time and time again. You guys are joking about that one.
Oh, God, I hate it.
What's your least favorite casterism, Sunless? What's the thing that when you hear it, you get triggered?
My least favorite is when when casters talk in second person or they talk to the player.
Yeah.
Like someone will, it's really instinct. Someone will score and their name pops up. So they'll say, "Oh, Chicago," and then they'll be like, "Fuck, I'm talking. You're nuts." It's just like, why are you talking to
Chicago,
him?
You're nuts, isn't talking to them directly.
Yeah, no, they're like, or the other one is like, is when they do a voice for the player. So they'll say, and Chicago says, "I'll clear that." Like, so much.
Chicago says, "I'll clear that," but this other guy says, "No, you won't."
It's so common. They'll be like, yeah. Another one is like, and they're shooting, and the other and G2 just says, "We'll take that all day." It's just like, they're not saying that.
They didn't say anything.
They didn't say anything. They're playing. No, I could take that once or twice, but it's like constant, man, when I'm watching.
That's funny, actually. I hope that somebody watching right now, one of the Rock League casters, is like, but that's my go-to. I don't actually know if that's what it is.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, it is so cringe watching yourself back, but it's just a very good habit to have, to be honest.
Oh, for sure, definitely. I'd say the only way that I was able to improve as a caster, because man, watching back my old videos, I was like, these videos suck. What on earth am I doing? What am I talking about? They're so bad. But I just watched a lot of them and did just self-review, because there weren't really. I mean, there was RLCS casters, but at the time that I was like building up my skill set, doing what I was doing, I just didn't really think that the way RLCS 3v3 was casted would fit with my mostly 1v1 content. So I was like, I'm not gonna. I can't actually follow anybody here. I've got to just listen back to my own videos and see what am I doing, or what am I doing wrong. What do I think is working? What would be a good addition? Yeah, open to. Right. I was quite open to the criticism as well. Read criticism, or I don't know. Like I see like casters, content creators as well. Get really upset when one person says something mean about them. I can't really relate.
Yeah.
I see somebody like complaining about me, or
if you like slightly mischaracterize something, but like you're just saying that because it kind of just like fits what appeared to happen. You didn't really think about that much. You'll just whimsically say like, "Oh, you probably should have cleared that." Like, well, I couldn't clear it because I was low and I was like, dude, yeah, but it looked like you couldn't clear it, so we just said it.
Yeah, I don't think people. I don't get too upset when people are upset at all when like people like call me out or whatever they think that they need to call me out on. It's like whatever. I don't know. Really
caster criticism is just kind of bullshit because
some
it's
people
like
get really upset.
It's also just so hard, and no one knows how hard it is, and so it's like you don't know. Like anybody that's criticizing caster would absolutely be shit at it. Like we all know that. So it's like
it's pretty
tough.
Why
are you even doing?
It's really fun, but it is very tough. It's like way harder than people think it is, and it's so tiring.
Yeah.
It's so tiring. After you're done, you're just like, oh my god.
It is really tiring. That's true.
Because you're like Game Face, Spirit Fingers, Rocket League, like for 2 hours straight or whatever. Yeah, and it is tough. I think like what I'm trying to work on now is like what is important to point out. Like if I listen back to even some of the most recent grid videos you posted, Johnny, some of the things I notice on there is I'll talk about something and I won't talk about it fast enough and I'll keep talking about it. And it's like 5 different other cool, more interesting things have happened since I started talking about this banal touch that someone made. And I'm like, oh, I better keep explaining that. And, there's all this shit happening. And I'm like, oh God, move on, Smellsworth, talk about Lord of the Rings or something. What the hell?
That's been the big breakthrough with Gridcasts is the off-topic
it's
casting.
Really quite entertaining, yeah.
What do you guys in Matt's Twitch chat think about the off-topic cast? What kind of other things do you think we could bring in there? Other styles. We did the golf cast. We've got to come up with more of those type of things as well. We should try and do a cast, Matt, like a Rocket League YouTuber intro.
Oh wow!
We should try to do a cast in the style of Rocket League YouTubers. Making a video because it's all this scripted content, all this scripted.
What is up, chat?
Content.
I'm doing a ceiling shot and I am missing.
Today we're going to be Today we're going to be looking at this game, and as you can see, there's 3 on one side and 3 on the other. So how does this work? So
yeah, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to go write down some take some notes and like common things that get said and try and incorporate that in there somehow.
Challenge.
What do you think about the YouTube versus Twitch experience on this? You streamed for quite a while and built up like over 1,000 subs. That's a massive Twitch stream, very successful Twitch stream as well as being huge in YouTube. But what are the like main takeaways from that compared to YouTube as a way of making content?
I really enjoyed like 80%, well, like 70% of it, but the 30% that I hated, I like really hated. So
what was that?
The actual doing of it, the actual streaming part. So actually, it's probably more than 30%.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Just playing and streaming was the worst part. Like just trying to play the game and focus on the game, and then also focus on the stream is just too much for me. It's Rocket League particular. I think other games that probably could have done it, but yeah, like I would close the stream and I wouldn't really like be happy. I would enjoy it, so I just stopped. But there were some parts that I really, really did enjoy, and I did do it for a decent amount. So it wasn't like I tried it once or twice and hated it and stopped. There was definitely something there.
It's like you weren't successful there and then stopped and be like, nah, this isn't for me. Like, cause you were very successful. You're getting lots of views, lots of subs, and like it was people wanted to watch that content. So yeah, what was it? What was the bit that you liked and didn't like apart from the actual playing Rocket League on stream and getting tilted?
Yeah, I mean that was it. But then I liked the idea of interacting and like I don't know. I just love the idea of streaming.
It's a more real interaction than replying to a YouTube comment or replying to a tweet or like replying to some message in the Discord. It's the most like real interaction you'll have with your fans outside of a LAN event, basically.
So I really enjoy that, and just like being able to do shenanigans and laugh at stuff with the chat is just amazing. So I'm really sure that I'll be streaming again,
but no gameplay.
Probably soon after I hit 1 million. So like pretty soon I'm going to be ramping that up again, but probably not gameplay. Yeah, I want to like cast stuff and do show matches, and I don't know, maybe I'll play a bit. See, I didn't actually have a problem with playing when I was playing with a teammate, but it was usually the solo queuing. So if I'm like gaming with someone, I probably don't have, I could probably stream that.
Yeah, that's interesting. I can very much relate. I mean, Rocket League, when you're streaming it, is one of the games that the fact that you're streaming, and if you don't have a streaming PC that lets you play to your usual settings with no hardware or visible difference, it's one of the most impacted games because I've like tested some other games and I'm like, this is you don't even realize you're streaming. Essentially, it's like the exact same. But Rocket League is so fast paced and like a frame can be the difference between missing or hitting a ball that it gets so frustrating when you're streaming. Then you get all these tiny little lag spikes or tiny little frame drops just because you're streaming, and then you mess something up. And oh man, it's so tilting that you just
and you can't make an excuse because you just sound stupid. And
exactly,
salty.
You can't make an excuse because they might not even have seen that little frame drop because that was on your hardware end. So everybody's salty.
You end up looking like a crazy person. Like I just couldn't. The lag, I just feels off, or like.
But like when you play, if you play Rocket League by yourself off stream, would you say that you're like that as well? You're like getting us into it and as mad at the bad teammates and getting us tilted by all the like overtime losses, or is that like amplified by the stream, or what would you say is happening there?
That's tough. I only get upset. I don't get upset at bad teammates. I get like mildly annoyed, but I know like if I just queue next game, like I think most teammates are at the skill level that you're at. Like
Mm,
I think I'm pretty good at like self-criticism. What I get really tilted by is like toxic teammates. It really throws me. Like if someone
mm,
or is like upset at me for like not playing well, like that just pisses me off so much. Cause I'm just like, I'm just on
mm,
here like doing my best. Like, why would you?
mm.
Because I just can't. That's not the response I have. Because like I never like am. I never type when I'm upset at a player for messing up, like my teammate for messing up. Like I think like,
Yeah.
damn, he really should have got that. So
Yeah, you can
the
get
worst
mad
thing
in
I'll
real life,
do,
you won't type.
yeah. The worst thing I'll do is say it out loud. Like that's my venting. I
Yeah.
can't understand someone like opening their keyboard and just telling another human that they're shit because they missed in Car Soccer. Like I just cannot fathom that.
And thinking that they're helping or
Yeah,
increasing
yeah,
their chances
or
to win.
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think it's even helping. I think it's just bad people, honestly. Like I hate toxic players so much. That's why it's such a theme of my channel. Like I love doing videos about toxic players
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
I am a little toxic myself, but I would never like project such shittiness onto another person. Like
Mm,
I can't do that, and I just hate that so much, and I can't understand it so much that my best way to deal with it is just to like show how absolutely stupid and silly it is, and just
yeah,
make fun of it
yeah.
and make content out of it. Is just like
I
my
love that
best
concept.
reaction. It's
So funny.
therapy. It's therapy. It's like I'm just gonna take all you shitty people and put you in a video and put meme music over it and just make a mockery of it, and I'm gonna get millions of views off of it, and I'm gonna have my career based on this because it's just
I would love
I'm
this.
gonna benefit from it
Thomas,
from it.
this needs to be a weekly series, really, or like a monthly series at the minimum, where we can just look at all your, reactions and all these people who are toxic in your games. I think surely it'll happen
You know, I
more
have
with
a
the new
series,
people.
right? This is real. It's
Wait, it
I have
is? What's it
yeah.
called?
So I have I've only had 2 because
Okay,
it's
well,
a
all right.
month worth, but it's like I recorded toxic players for a month is what my
Uh-huh.
series is. So I've had
Oh,
2
wait,
of
you've
these
actually
out.
done that 2 months now?
Yes,
Oh.
I'm always record like I have a
I didn't
system
realize
now
I
where
saw the first one. I didn't realize there was another one.
Is this
That's
yeah,
cool.
I did a second one. I did a month 2, and then month 3, it's been like 2 or 3 months because I just didn't get enough, which is great in a
Oh,
Yeah.
way.
wow, people are actually seeing Sunless, they're like, "Oh, no, I don't wanna end up in a
No,
toxic
it's all
video."
undercover. It's all undercover.
Ah,
Come
okay.
on, Johnny, give the man some credit.
Do you feel like you play better, or do you think that when you're not playing as Sunless with your Sunless logo and your profile's private, that you get better games, or you can more
I
easily rank up?
I play better, yes, for sure. Just psychologically.
Less pressure, yeah.
Yeah, just like no one knows who I am. I'm just I'm just who
You're
when
just a
I'm playing
black
as
box.
Sunless, like people are talking to me and like making jokes and like they want to chat. So sometimes I'm in the mood for that. And so I'll play as,
Mm,
I'll play as my main, profile and like my
yeah,
name and
yeah.
everything. And I think it's fun sometimes because sometimes, first of all, there's way less toxicity. So like if I'm in the mood for some good, wholesome Rocket League, I don't want to record any stupid toxic players. I just want to, be myself, chatty, and just play the game. Then I'll play as my main profile.
Mm,
But if I just want to grind, then I'm just on another profile 100%. And then
Mm.
I'll turn on my like
interesting.
clip recorder. And if something hilarious or toxic happens, I'll just clip it.
Nice. That's funny.
And
I honestly wish that
yeah,
we'd done this, Matt, because when I play, with Matt, or when we play Rocket League, he demos a lot of people, and they get extremely mad and
All the
upset
time.
about it, and oh, man, we could have had so many
It's very much like
videos out of
your
this, but we
videos with
never
Woody.
record. Yeah,
oh yeah,
yeah,
oh my god, that was so much
yeah.
fun.
Matt, you need to get connected with Woody
I do
and,
actually. Yeah.
what's it?
He's
Rocket
great,
Sledge as
man.
well. You would get along so well because 'cause
Dude,
they're all
Woody
about the
is
demos.
so fun to play with. I had so much. I got to do another one. I got to just play with him because I had so much fun. It was so consistent, the toxicity. It was
I love that.
I
I
wish I
love
could have
yeah.
explained like it really was in the video. Like I don't even know if I emphasized it enough. It was
Mm,
almost every game someone would say something. It
Yeah.
was
mm.
the toxicity rates were just
I believe it because it gets to that stage sometimes when I'm playing with Matt and he's really very demo focused. Like every game, the other team will you'll notice the turning point. Like maybe you demo them for the second or third time, and now you can tell that they're going for more demos.
They're
just start
more
doing it as
toxic
well.
when they are winning. Like if they, we won like 60% of our games, but we lost 40%. That's a solid amount. And that 40%, because then they're like, you demoed me, you broke the rules, and I still overcame and beat you. And they think they're just the best. They just think they're the absolute shit. And it's like, well, I mean, you beat us because it's Rocket League, and you played better.
Yeah.
You played better. We tried a tactic and it didn't work in this game. Good job. But they just think they're just like, see, demos don't work. They're like, this is absolute proof in this one game that we won by one goal.
Statistics.
It's just like, they get you got us. Good job.
Super lucky. You hit the bar in overtime and they get the counterattack win, and then you're like, you guys suck. Demo noobs. But
exactly.
Get so furious. It's hilarious. That's the kind of content that I would definitely enjoy. I really sometimes I'm playing like a Rocket League session. I'm like, oh, I wish I recorded this. This is hilarious.
You gotta.
I just never in the I don't know. I never think to do it. I'm just.
It started with me realizing that Shadowplay. I would turn on Shadowplay's instant replay. It just takes no system resources at all. I never liked the idea of like a recording going constantly. I was just like, this is, first of all, it's kind of weird because it's like, so everything on my screen is recorded, but then it's like, well, you don't even notice it after a while. And then it's just one button press and it's like the last, 60 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever.
Interesting. Maybe I'll have to look into that. That would be fun.
Yeah. When I'm playing Rocket League, I just always turn it on now by habit.
Oh, that's cool.
So if anything funny or clippable ever happens, because before I was in that situation, this is only like 3 months ago where I started this series. So it was like 4 months ago that I started recording, where I was like, I'm gonna record I bet it was because I used to be like, okay, if something really toxic happens, maybe I'll make a video about it. But usually it's just like a bunch of little things. So I was like, oh, I could just do this for like a long period of time, and then I'd have a compilation. And so that's what.
Are there any other type of themed videos that you could get out of this? Because one that I can think of for me is I do play as Johnny Boy with the Johnny Boy logo quite often, but I just don't bother talking. I usually just have I either have my chat off or I just don't reply because I just want to play the game. I just want to play the video game. I don't want to have the same conversation every game in the chat. So one thing that I could definitely have had a compilation on is this exact conversation happening between other players in the lobby. Player 1, wow, is that the real Johnny Boy? Player 2, no, it's not him. Player 3, yes, it is him. Player 4, no, it's not him. He's higher rated than this. This has happened so many times. And I'm like,
you've got to record that.
Joking, man. How many times this can happen to me?
It happens all the time.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Every single game, they're always like, oh, no, it can't be him. He's higher rated. Or like another one's like, oh, no, it can't be him. Great. He's got EU ping. Loads of people think I'm American. And the fact that I've got EU ping in the EU server means that it can't be me. He's from USA. I'm like, where do they get that idea from? I don't understand.
That's so funny. You gotta start capturing that.
Even when you have the RLCS analyst tag on, sometimes people ask.
Yeah, they're arguing, like, is it him? No, it can't be him.
It's like there's a green tag underneath his name. It says RLCS analyst right now.
I mean, that's why I changed my name. Like, I almost never play as Sunless because I just want to play. Like, I don't want to be like, well, now whenever anyone says, are you the real Sunless? Which is pretty much like every other game. I just spam like no, and then they're like, "Yeah, you are," and I'm like, "Okay, then why'd you ask?"
The big mistake, you can't reply at all. But I genuinely do most of the time that I'm playing. Well, if I'm solo queuing, I usually have my just chat disabled, and I go for every kickoff, regardless of whether or not my teammate is going for the kickoff. I'm like, "Cool, we're both going for the kickoff. I love it. I like it." It's like I don't really care. I'm like, I'm beyond.
The worst is ones because they won't forfeit. So like, if you've ever been in one's game where you're winning like 8-1 or like 9-1, it's like.
No, never.
They will not forfeit. No. If my name is Sunless, there will never be a forfeit. Like
I actually never play
the entire game.
Yeah, that's true. But
and they watch all the replays, and they're like, "What should I type?" It's just like,
oh, listen. I'm down to watch all the replays. If somebody watches one replay, like if they score and they watch the whole replay one time, I will leave every replay of every goal, their goal, and my goals on for the.
What if they're just like getting a drink or something? What if they're just like fiddling with their mouth?
Doesn't matter. They need to learn the hard way. Like I will leave every replay on for their goals and my goals for the rest of the game and make the game last ridiculously long. And it's same
incredible.
thing whenever, you know, when one team is clearly having a little domestic, like they're not, like one of them is trying and the other two are just like sitting there and you're wondering, thinking, okay, they probably tried to forfeit, but one of them is not doing it. And now they're just trying to let the game end. And then your team realized that, so they're just trying to let the game end as well. I'm the guy who just tries to score as many goals as possible to make this game last as long as possible.
Yep.
So it'll end up like, you know, 15-12, and everybody's like, just let the game end, bro. And I'm like, kickoff goal, kickoff goal, watch the whole replay. Like, these guys have to learn that they can't just like they can't expect the other team to just let the ball sit on the floor. They want to forfeit, they got to forfeit. I'm super toxic in that regard.
I play with Marky a lot. And so whenever we play, we're usually apart by like 300, 400 points, probably something like that. So the demo stuff, because I'm the lower ranked getting carried player, it incites even further sort of like
you're not good enough. You can't do anything but demo.
I mean, and there's some real, I mean, it's really true. Whenever I run into somebody with that same setup, oftentimes the low ranked player is the one that's talking all the trash and doing like all the, you know, all the annoying things or whatever. So in certain ways, I'm like that. It's not in the same spirit.
Yeah, you do that.
We will still banter with people. Like I like if somebody's cool the whole time about it or whatever, cool. But as soon as they show like a sign of weakness where it's like clearly upsetting them, it's like lights out there. It's, you know, shouldn't have done that, idiot.
It's over.
You know, why don't you skip replays? Because Mark actually, I think, watches almost all of his replays anyway.
Every replay.
Yeah, he pretty much
especially
just
in my
chills
game.
out.
Oh, 100%. He'll chill out and watch the replay.
He just chills out, and so we often just watch replays.
It's a good idea, just to get in the head, because it's like, can they really complain about watching a replay?
Yeah, people do. We just always say like, oh, like my skip button is broken. I'm so sorry. Or I tell people, like, sometimes I just say weird stuff like, oh, I'm cleaning my room, or something.
Washing the dishes.
That's right.
Just stuff that doesn't make sense. But yeah, it's so interesting how
you guys also change your names a lot.
Oh, we constantly change our names. Do you remember the time, Johnny, where we were playing this group constantly? It was you, me, and Mark, and we were like, we have to change our names to this guy's name. We're like, quick, change our names to this guy's name. And then we queued into another threes match versus him. But Mark is an idiot, and he like put his own little spin on the name or whatever. Otherwise, the guy was like, what is going on?
Yeah, because you imagine you just have a really dumb name, and
that's
then you
incredible.
queue up for your next game of Rocket League solo, and the entire enemy team all have your name. They all have your name. That's what we did.
So trippy.
But yeah, Marky messed it up. But yeah, we tried to do that.
It was so great too, because he wasn't even involved in anything. We just randomly chose his name. Like he wasn't.
For no reason.
He wasn't. It was not like we were arguing.
Or what
with
if
him
you all
anything.
change your name to you? Just like that'd be, how trippy would that be? Like every replay.
Yeah,
is just like you.
You.
We always do this. If somebody's got like exclamation, like in brackets, new controller in their name, that's like they're asking for it. Like we're definitely naming them.
Definitely.
Like, we always get the same players every single game.
I've been putting like antique controller, no controller,
controller,
stuff like that. Yeah.
New hands.
Oh man, yeah, new hands. Exactly. You get it, Sunless. You get it.
People.
If I move back to the US, we'll do some videos together, buddy. We'll troll some people really hard. I really want to get a hold of like some of Woody's replays and like compare mine and like make a huge sort of like demo Bible or something that just like teaches everybody all the different positions to demo from. I think that's like gonna be my first big like meaty edited YouTube work. You know, doing
there
that.
There you go.
Actually, I wonder if Woody's saved the replay where he got his record like amount of demos.
Oh, I'm sure he does. He's good at archiving. He's got everything you need.
Watch these games in cat.
Does he have a YouTube channel?
Yes, and he has a series where he records salty streamers. When people are live, that's the best.
Oh, nice.
And
they're pissed at him, and so then he gets their reactions, cuts that in with the gameplay, and it's just gold.
Amazing. I'll paste it into chat. I found it. Oh,
okay.
I'll paste it here. Chat. Give this guy a follow. He is amazing at what he does.
But
actually, he's not too long ago. Actually, he's only been at it for like 4 weeks. So it's pretty new. Let's
salty streamers. Oh, I have to watch that later for sure.
Yeah, that's great.
26.
It's great. I love how deranged. This like picture of Woody is from Toy Story as well. It's got a double barrel shotgun.
Yep. It's so good.
Oh man.
Oh, man, guy's like actually my rating as well. This is crazy. That's so funny. Yeah, I definitely need to get a hold of some of these replays and just get a great viewing. Oh man, I love watching it because I do replay reviews of my subs sometimes on stream, and when somebody's just like clear demos, I'm so happy. I'm like, yes, my man.
Yeah. Well, we set. I think we set a demo record in that show match for Salt Mine 2, where Scrub versus Jesse, where the second player was only demoing. It was Rani and Sosa. Was it Sosa? Is that his name?
Sotus.
Yeah. So all 4 players demoed at the same time.
The entire lobby.
The entire lobby was gone for 3 seconds. The whole game was demoed at the same time.
I missed that part. Guys who are only allowed to go for demos spawned closer to the kickoff than the 2 players who are actually allowed to hit it, and then obviously they just drove past the ball and demoed the guy. And since they were all going supersonic, they all died the exact same time. Quality, like one of the best moments like that. That never happened. Little Scuffed Station pre Salt Mine 2 Grand Finals segment, which we were like, oh man, I have no idea how this is gonna go, but it went really well.
You know what? That's actually on my list of topics to talk about. Like, how long ago did you join SSG, and how did that come about?
That was December of last year. It was like right before Worlds, right before Madrid. But I had actually talked to Sean. So I met Sean Duras, the owner of SSG, way back in the spring of 2019 in Vegas at this like video convention that I was actually with Stumpy and Cole. It was so random. But anyway, so I met him there, and then, so I was in contact with him. Like, I followed him on Twitter. He followed me, and then he got my phone number. At some point he DM'd me. But they were interested in like bringing on some content creators all the way back then. They were kind of throwing around the idea. So yeah, then we had a phone call. And he was like, yeah, we're really serious about this. We want to bring on a big content creator, and we want, you to join. And that was pretty much it. They just called me. So I was like, yeah, that sounds amazing. And I joined. It was as easy as that.
Nice.
It was awesome.
And
so that was like, that was the end of the year, end of 2019.
And you guys were walking around the big space station squad. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was great. It was great timing.
Yeah, I saw that crew quite a lot.
And I'm sure I don't know, and a lot of other people don't know, like what does it mean when you join like a team like that, and what kind of things are they providing you, or what kind of value are you giving them, and what are they getting out of the situation from you? Or you get it? You get what I'm trying to say? So typically the content creator on an org that's like not part of the esports team is just there to just rep the org. So it's usually a pretty easy job. Like, it's just like, you change the logo and you're just like, I'm on this org. Mm-hmm. For SSG, my role is a little different because I actually helped. I'm sort of like their community advisor / manager. So I actually had a slightly, what's that?
Dad.
Yes, dad. So they wanted sort of like an insider to the Rocket League community, because there's only so much you can. I mean, there's so many little like quirks about the Rocket League community. So my role is to sort of help them with, for one thing, for bringing in a bunch of new content creators. So I helped them find and put them in touch with all 10 to 12 that we brought on. So that was a big part of it. So that kind of thing is what I do as well.
Okay.
That's cool.
And so, all right, interesting. So but I think in some cases, some teams might help with like editing and things like that. What is that? What is that setup like? Is that something that you work with them on, or
no?
Do you just handle your
editing or anything? Because they have their own it's like a full, orgs these days are just full companies. Like, they have, marketing department, and they have a creative department, and they have, so they already have editors and graphic designers and all that stuff. So I don't really help with like producing content. I more help brainstorm like what type of content they're going to do, who they're going to bring on, and then I'll, make appearances and stuff, and just be there and hype up the org, basically.
Yeah. So you're basically like a scene consultant for them in a way.
Yeah.
You help them understand the scene as a whole, and especially the content side of things. And
I've
seen some of that. I've seen some of the behind the scenes with the SSG grid stuff and with Salt Mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Like how you guys work. So that part makes a lot of sense to me. I was just curious.
So, like, if they're like, we want to run this tournament and we want, you know, a caster or something, then I'm like, oh, you should definitely talk to Johnny Boy. You know, here's it. You know, that's how we got into touch with the grid stuff. But and then also that's like half of it. The other half is just being, I think most content creators that are on orgs in Rocket League are more the second part, which is really just like, it's almost more like just a sponsor, right?
Yep.
So it's like, you know, I guess I don't know what, you know, the specifics of the roles are of other content creators, but I assume they don't really, they're just kind of repping the org.
Yeah,
so it's more like a sponsor in that case.
Yep, helping
to
get,
and that's part of it too.
Get more eyeballs, sell more sponsorships and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
It's interesting. The Space Station have so many of the Rocket League content creators. Do you think that is limiting, like, you know, content in some way? Because, you know, if every org had like 3 or 4 content creators, there would be like easy rivalries and things to set up and do, like, you know, versus. Whereas Space Station of everybody, which I think is really cool. It's not like any of the other orgs were stepping up and, you know, getting involved. I think it's awesome that they did that. No, you know, it's a cool opportunity for all the creators, and it's great for Space Station to have all these partnerships. But yeah, what do you think it would look like if every like RLCS level org had like a handful of content creators? And
I mean, maybe it'll get to that point, right? Like the goal of, I mean, what SSG did was just to like get ahead of the game and like let's partner with all these up and coming content creators, and you know, support the smaller creators as well. And
yeah, that's also really validates a lot of
creators, which is super cool. So it was almost like a scene, like investing in the scene is how I would see it. Like I loved being able to go out and put SSG into contact with all these creators and get them signed and stuff. That was awesome. So part of it is just investing in the scene and just, you know, being associated with all these creators that we admire in the community. And then, so yeah, I think eventually, as more orgs get more invested into Rocket League, I think we'll see it more. And I think a lot of the major orgs will have a handful of content creators. It's just not quite there yet. But NRG is like, you know, they just signed Musty and Jazer only a couple months ago. So they have 2 now, which is, they've got to be the most after SSG. I guess Waiton's with Sonics. Who else has just strictly content creators? I think it's just like us 3. Oh, G2, of course. They have Athena and Phantom.
Yeah,
that's right.
Do you think it's necessary for them to hire more? Or do you think they could just wait till you guys put something out and then they could take like the title of it and just use the title? Or
more what?
Do you think they need do you think they need to get more content creators, or do they just wait for you guys to put out something and then copy the title and use it as their own?
Wait, what? I don't. Am I just tired? I did not understand the question.
Well, like say like for like say for like the grid. You know, Space Station Gaming decides they're going to name their grid channel like their stream Mission Control, and then you look at these other orgs and it's like, oh, we don't have enough content creators to come up with our own sort of like juicy content, so we just we'll just look at what Space Station Gaming is doing and then we'll take that and use it. Do you think they need to hire more content creators, or can they just go with that model?
Yeah, I think they obviously need to hire more content creators. I mean, that's always the goal.
I'd be surprised if
that's always the solution.
Without telling you, one day they're just going to tweet out that Sunless is an NRG content creator. That's the first.
They're just going to make a content creator. They're going to create a content creator named Sunless and sign him. That's what they're going to do.
Oh my god, that would be amazing, actually. You know, Unit was asking me last week during the cast, like if he thought that there should be a match to see who wins the name, and I said yes. But the more I thought of it, I was like, no, they should just come up with their own damn name. That's like, you know, I went from like this is a great idea to getting like really salty about it, and I was just like, I've got a new disc planned for this week. I've got a new disc for the intro this week planned for this. So there was,
it's gonna be hard to top the submission control. That was pretty good.
It's a good one. It's a good one. I feel pretty good about it. Also, I actually liked I liked my disc for their announcement too, which was like Control C, Control V, mission control or something like that.
That was good.
Mission control C, mission control C, control V. That was what I originally called it. I felt pretty good about that one, but I got a new one coming up. I got a new one. I'm feeling good about that one too.
Look forward to hearing it.
So where are we at? Okay, so we're probably we're probably to the point where we can start getting into the dessert round of the Saltcast. What do you think, Johnny?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Adding
dessert.
Yeah. No, this is the fun part, Sunless. The rest, I know the rest is
so sometimes there's like rapid fire questions that people are doing. At the end of the pod, we sort of just have some different prompts and stuff. So, are you familiar with Marry, Fuck, Kill?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
I did go to middle school.
Okay, perfect. It's a rough middle school, but we have our own version, which is Rocket League oriented, which is certainly less provocative, but it's called Team Demo Ranked. So who would you team with, which is the marrying? Who would you demo, which is the killing? And ranked, who would you play ranked with? Like, hey, it's fun to play ranked with you, but nothing serious. I'm not going to commit. That's obviously the fucking. We'll give you like some sets of people and then have you team demo rank them. Yeah, so the original, the OG's F2 team demo ranked.
I would. This is tough. This is really tough. I would.
You're going to hurt some feelings.
I know. I would demo Rob.
That's Wiffles for people who aren't aware.
Yeah, Wiffles.
Mm-hmm.
I would. This is tough. I think I would team John, and I would I'd play ranked with Neat Mike.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think
you got to marry John.
Probably a good idea not to, team with Neat Mike, because although you're willing to make that commitment with him, he might not be willing to make the commitment.
Yeah, you just want to go on a ranked flank with Mike for sure. Mike is the one-night Rocket League stand, and John is the long-term Rocket League dad.
Yeah, he's proven himself to be that, reliable guy who just is always around when you need him.
And Rob, you just want a demo just to make him mad.
He would probably get the most mad about that. Or with Neat Mike.
You never know when Neat Mike is going to go to prison again as well, so you gotta be careful.
That's true. You just want to get the fling out of the way.
What on earth is Neat Mike doing these days? Not heard about him for years, it seems.
Working out. I don't know. He hasn't been. He's made a couple appearances in videos. He hasn't posted himself.
He doesn't post on like YouTube, but he does. Does he have other like social media that I'm not?
Yeah, I think he has a Snapchat that he used to post to a lot. Yeah,
Snapchat. That's something I've not heard for ages.
Yeah.
Snapchat. That used to be really, really popular, didn't it?
It still is quite popular.
It is?
Yeah, it still is.
I
not
feel
quite
TikTok
as much as
stole its thunder.
Yeah, it did kind of, but it's still a thing.
I think they're used for different things. Younger people use Snapchat to communicate with each other mostly. It's not as much of like a public facing thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Interesting.
All right.
Anyway,
so next Musty, Mertzy, Lethamyr, team demo ranked.
I would team with Lethamyr for sure.
Is that just because he's a former pro?
Just because he's such a tryhard, and he's always gonna give you 100%. He's a tryhard. He's gonna carry you.
You're there for the sweat
all the time. Yeah, and then you want to. I'm gonna have to demo Mertzy because of the ping. Honestly, you don't want to play rank with Mertzy. At least I don't, unless I'm in EU, because it's so tough.
Wow.
It's so funny. Whenever I play with Mertzy, first of all, I love playing with Mertzy. He's actually really fun to play with because his play style is really fun. He's very aggressive. He's really good at the game. He's funny and then just enjoyable to play with. But the ping is so fucking annoying. One of us is always pissed. We'll do East servers, and then he's just every time he messes up, he'll mention the ping, and then we go to EU, and every time I mess up, I'll mention the ping, and we're just it's pretty funny, honestly. But yeah, I'm gonna have to demo him for that.
That's the most diplomatic demo that has ever happened.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a very mercy kill demo for sure.
Yeah.
And then I'll just play ranked with Musty. Playing ranked with Musty is really fun as well because he's also, he's got the jokes. He's pleasant to play with. He's obviously really good at the game. He's actually good at playing with bad players. He'll cover for you pretty well. So yeah, I'll play ranked with Musty.
Nice. And
you want to team with him though. You want to team with Leth.
No, you want to team with Leth for sure.
We're gonna start some drama here since you dodged all of it with the demo part. We need something.
Yeah, like I gave Mercy like the biggest compliment ever and talked about how great of a guy he was before I demoed him.
All right, so typical Arsenal Rattles, the Space Station Gaming pro team.
This is tough. This is very tough. I think Reddles, you wanna play ranked with Reddles. The
Why
fling
so?
with Reddles. I don't know. Because he's crazy. I don't know. Yep. They're all kind of. I feel like they're all kind of the same. They're all just nutty pro players. Like, actually, no. Let me switch that. I think you give him a little bit of his medicine. You demo Reddles. Okay. You play ranked with Arsenal, and you team with Sipical because he's the best player in the world. That's pretty simple.
Wow. Wow.
Also, Arsenal told us a little bit of insight on Sipical in the last grid stream. He said that Sipical loves being top of the scoreboard. So in that sense, you're going to be a great teammate for Sipical because he will never be bottom of the scoreboard.
Very true. Very true. I'll keep him happy in that regard. I will never upstage him. So yeah, I'll team with Sipical for sure. If you want to win, I mean, just go for the best player.
What about the management team at SSG? Do they play Rocket League? Could you like team?
They do.
Could you? So team demo ranked the 3 Seans.
The 3 Seans.
Isn't there 3 Seans?
There are. I don't know their real names. This is really funny, but like
there are 3 Seans.
A lot of them go by their like
their screen names,
gamer tags and stuff.
Yeah.
I know that.
Pretty sure Seans,
The joke is
3 Seans.
The joke is.
How do you know the 3 Sean? I know 2 Sean.
I just ask a lot of questions, but I mean,
incredible.
What I was trying to
know the org better than I do.
What I was trying to hand you on a silver platter was team with Sean, demo Sean, ranked with Sean. No feelings hurt.
I was too distracted by who the fucking 3rd
Sean. Okay, no problem.
Oh, that's good.
No problem.
But yeah, it would be that what you said.
Yeah, okay,
Sean.
makes sense. Yeah, makes sense.
But one Sean is spelled differently.
Yes.
Sean's are spelled differently.
Yes, that is true.
There's one SEA and Sean, and there's a Sean Duras is the scene
Sean. And a Shaun.
And there's actually lots of. It'd be great if the other.
They're all three. They're all 3 different. Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
The third one, the SHAWN.
I can't remember, to be honest.
Yeah, we were.
But I did look it up. I looked it up while we were talking on LinkedIn. So it's Sean Duras. And then Unit, and then the other guy, I don't know what his handle is.
I forgot Unit's name was Sean.
Yeah, it's Unit.
I call
That's
him Unit
why.
only.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So anyway,
and then the other Sean. Wait, who'd you say the other Sean was?
The other business partner that started it with Sean Duras.
Asher.
I don't know what his name is. I don't know what his handle is. I just know his real first name.
Switch are probably looking it up right now for us.
Because I'm a boomer. Great. I'm a boomer, and I know people's names first.
That's fantastic.
I've got a twist on. We have got a question here for you, Sunless. On the dessert section, what's the worst video you've made that's gotten tons of views? Like, what's a video that you thought, wow, this video is trash, and then it just blew up?
Let me just pull up my videos real quick.
Are they all good? I can say I got so many videos. If I ask myself this question, there's like top 10 of videos that I think they're all trash and that they all have like stupid amounts of views. You're just like, man, all my videos are so good. None come to mind.
No, I got to sort by the most popular and just decide which is the worst. No, I think it's actually it's definitely I don't have to pull it up after all. It's definitely the Fiverr coach one. That was like my most viewed video for a long time, and it was kind of just the actual video was kind of garbo. It was just the idea that was clickbaity.
That's like a really big idea on YouTube that a lot of people
have
done
done but I didn't even know I was doing that. Like I wasn't even trying to jump on a trend, to be honest, which is funny.
I don't know if
I sort of accidentally jumped on it.
It's like something that comes and goes. I've seen this before Fiverr. There was like different variations of it. Like I'm pretty sure. So I know this idea is like quite a golden old one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always see on that video, everybody that I've seen do that with Rocket League, you guys are all pretending to be bad for the sake of the video, right? Why didn't you just play keyboard? I was thinking when I'm watching this, like if I was doing this, I would have just picked up the controller.
That is a good idea.
Like I was thinking,
because I wanted to control the variants. Like I wanted to be bad, like mid game, and then just like I wanted to That's part of the fun is faking to be bad though. But yeah, if you were trying to do an accurate representation of a bad player, that is actually a good idea.
I would have just done this. I'd pick up the controller, actually be trash, and then just go keyboard for the bits I want to be good at. Like, oh wow, I nailed that one. Then pick the controller up again and still suck.
I honestly didn't think of that. That's a great idea because you would literally be trying to learn it. Like a
there
you
go. Go do it again. It's not my style of video. It doesn't work.
I'll be like, I play keyboard and mouse to pretend I was bad. Genius.
That's interesting though. Worst video that
I've actually never done a video where I've done like keyboard and mouse because I always thought it was just a lame idea just to have that as itself as its own video.
People that is a very clickbait video.
Here's a video, play keyboard and mouse. I'm just like, that doesn't seem like a full video.
That's a John Sandman video, playing Rocket League while standing.
Like, right, that's a Mad Lad video.
Which hey, don't get me wrong, John Sandman, and he could make a video about anything. People will watch it. Like he's just
because he does daily uploads, so it's like he's got to just come up with some way to make each video a little different. Yeah. Although now his I love his titles now. Like he'll just be like ... or like he's getting experimental. He's getting goddamn artful. Like you should ask him about some of his titles and stuff. It's actually hilarious.
John's I mean he's the true OG for this for Rocket League content. He and you know he's not somebody that people should look to for advice or not advice, maybe the wrong word. Look to for things that they should try and copy because he's so big that he could just do anything and it'll probably work just because of who he is. You know, people are trying to like come up in the YouTube game. I don't know if that will work for them, making their title of the video ... Probably not going to work.
It only works if you're established.
Yeah.
Yep. You can only experiment once you're out there.
Mm-hmm. All right, what we got next, Matt? What's the next course? Lots of
yeah. So like, what's your favorite video that like wasn't big? Do you have like one that you like just wish would have succeeded, but you still are just really proud of it?
Or that you thought was going to blow up? You're like, oh yeah, this will be my most viewed video, and it just never really went anywhere.
I got to look at my channel. Let me see, because there's been a couple for sure that I was like, man, I really thought this would do better.
Thought the YouTube algorithm would be more kind to it. Thought people would like it more.
And it just didn't. What? Wait, we were just talking about one actually. Oh yeah, the one where I made a real life Rocket League car. I thought that one would like
a
million views for sure.
What did it get?
And it didn't. It was like 300,000 or something. But it's like surrounded by like million view videos, so it's like a clear like dip. And I actually know now. I watched it again recently because I was like, why did that video not do well? And it's actually kind of boring. Like I edited it poorly. I didn't realize at the time. Like I was just kind of going through it. But once I went back and saw it, I was like, oh, I should have previewed things better and sort of, I don't know. There were a lot of things, like it had some pacing issues. It's kind of boring if you watch it. The end's really exciting. So like I could have made it a little shorter and like there's some rearranging with the editing I could have done to make it more interesting. I think honestly, if just a little reworking in the editing room, there's like a difference of like 500,000 views. That's kind of crazy to think about.
It'd be really interesting if you did re-edit it and you released the video without saying anything. Released the edited one, and then do another video where you talk about how I just went back and edited these things and released this video, and it's this much bigger now. It'd be kind of interesting.
That would. And unlist it and just like gaslight people. Like everyone's like, you already did this. I'm like, no, I didn't.
Yeah. Show me where I've done this before.
Oh, you got to be careful. So if they're going to start trying to cancel you, they'll find everything you've ever said on stream. They'll like put together like a big montage of reasons why Sunless is evil. You got to be careful, man.
I'm waiting for it. I'll just survive off the extra publicity.
Yeah.
Negative publicity.
All right. So we did worst video, favorite video. What's your favorite Rocket League video from another creator? Like, what would you say is your video that you've most enjoyed?
And the follow-up to that is, did you rip off the concept and make a video of your own from it?
Probably wish I did. Okay, it's definitely... This is very relevant. This is very relevant because it's super new. Idea that I have kicked myself so hard for not coming up with it first because it's exactly like what I would do. It's almost to the point where he kind of ripped off me, but he didn't because I didn't do it.
Yeah.
But Seabell's like one, or what is it? Like four grand champs and one hidden diamond. Now he kind of ripped off Musty. Like Musty's done those type of videos, but not quite like that. So it would have fit my channel so well. It would have got 1 million views. I could have done it like it could have been a series. And it's Seabell. It's like what Seabell has taken off his channel with because it's such a great series. And I just cannot believe I did not think of that.
Seabell.
Yeah.
Why have I
He's
not
the
heard of this?
newest up and coming. Oh, dude, you haven't heard of Seabell?
No. I don't really watch
Rocket
League
League YouTuber.
I don't really watch Rocket League. Oh, Seabell is in the letter C. I just searched C-S-E-A. Wow. Oh, wow, yeah.
He's gonna have 100,000 in like in a month or two. I would.
That's awesome. See, there's
always
like new channels coming along.
Just started, but he's doing everything right for starting Rocket League YouTubers. Like he's uploading like every 4 to 6 days. Like that's the sweet spot.
It is, yeah.
Pretty much each video is a banger. He's released a couple like Q&A type videos, which you can still kind of get away with because he's still a new YouTuber. But otherwise, everything's a banger, which that's a key. When you're starting out a channel, is like you got to make like 5 just like hits in a row. And he kind of did that.
Nice.
Yeah, well, that video idea, what is this? So there's a hidden diamond in a lobby. Like it's this 3v3.
Yeah, so the GCs try to find who the diamond is. It's great.
Right. So like nobody knows who the diamond is. Or what's going on there.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. This sounds like
diamond's trying to blend in.
I don't know. See, like these kind of videos where, well, this sort of concepts. I feel like that falls under the category of like ranked guessing videos and stuff like that. Where
that's what I'm saying. It's similar. Like it's kind of, that's why I said it's almost ripping off you, but not really.
Yeah, I would say it's not. Like if you did this,
no.
it wouldn't be ripping off. Like there's some videos where the idea is so specific that when you see it on another channel, you're like, well, obviously that is just a copy of this other video.
This is a new thing.
That's like kind of an idea. Anybody could come up with that idea.
You know, absolutely.
It's not like a wow, unique, crazy idea. It's a really like great YouTube.
No, I just really wish I would have thought of that. Like, how did I not think of that? I do those type of videos all the time. I'm so mad.
You should just do it, Sunless. You should collab with him on that. You know? Yeah, just do it, man.
Collab with him now. He's too big now. He couldn't do it. All my comments, like he has stands already.
Oh, wow.
His stands would come to my comments.
This kind of might
great.
Check,
he's a great guy.
This might check the box in the next question, which was like, if you could like steal someone's video and make it yours and no one would ever know, like there's no negative repercussions at all, and you could just take someone's video and you make it yours.
Oh, that would be it.
That would be the one?
That one.
I would do, because the way he did it was so good too that I wouldn't have thought of. Like he does more stuff. He records the comms of the players and uses that as filler, which I'm going to start doing too, because it's such a great idea.
Nice.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And that's not a specific thing. That's just kind of a method for recording. So I don't feel like I feel fine stealing that.
I was really glad, actually. I think you were probably the first person whose video I saw where there was like a guess the rank type of thing happening on YouTube. Because I'd been people had asked for this type of content on my live stream before, and I never made it happen because it's so hard to do that when you're live, well, in a live setting. And all my YouTube is just Twitch stream stuff, so I never did it. But yeah, I saw you doing this. I was like, there it is. That's gonna be a killer like video idea. People have been asking for this everywhere. Like but I think it's because I've seen this in other esports. I've seen League of Legends do it, and I've seen there's Seabell, yeah. C, the letter C, not the word SEA. Like Boomer Johnny Boy tried to type. I was like, I just typed SEA Bell into YouTube. I was like, all these channels have 1 subscriber, Sunless. What are you talking about? Oh, there he is. Right,
yeah,
gotcha.
you'll be hearing about Seabell for sure.
That's awesome.
He's
dropping.
He's going to be the next up and coming, the next big one.
We're gonna look like trendsetters.
You did a Guess the Rank live, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've done live.
It's actually really doable. If you need a library of like clip submissions, basically, which I had on my Discord, and then I did a Twitch poll where the Twitch chat guesses. Vote.
Yeah, the one I've been most interested in doing recently is like I'll cast a game where I don't know who the players are. It'll just be like nameless. Or maybe the nameless is probably a bad idea because you can't see where the car is a lot of the time. You don't realize how difficult it is to watch Rocket League without the nameplates till you try. You're like, wait, the cars are so small. Like,
you can't see them.
So like maybe like anonymous nameplates, like they could have bot names or whatever. I'd love to cast a game where I don't know who's playing and try to figure out who it is. I think that could be fun. Yeah, I'm always trying to tie it back into casting, so I want to multitask. Trying to improve my casting while making content. So I limit the amount of stuff or what I'm getting out of Rocket League time that I'm dedicating. I feel like, I don't know if you, this is even a question we put in here, but I do want to ask you, Sunless. Do you think that you'll ever get burned out of this, or are you ever worried that you're going to get burned out of making Rocket League content, just not have the same drive that you do right now? And are you aware of that like possibility happening and trying to at least take it easy for now, or maybe take it easy is the wrong word, but trying to, like, manage your time now to make sure that that doesn't happen soon?
Yeah. Yeah, I could see it happening if I tried to go too hard. So like you said, that is something I do though. So I'm always thinking about making sure I'm not doing too much, I try to give my videos plenty of room and make sure I'm putting I think I avoid the burning out by not trying to do too much at one time. I think that's the only time where I get overwhelmed if I'm trying to do several projects, which sometimes that happens because of if I'm doing something business related on the side, or if I'm sometimes I do commissioned like Rocket League work, or if I'm organizing stuff with SSG, then it could be
Mm.
like 3 things going on, and I'm trying to do a video project for my channel.
And real life
That's where it
stuff,
gets
yeah.
overwhelming. Yeah.
Mm.
So if I just say no enough to enough stuff, then I'm good.
Mm.
So that's what I just say no to more stuff and make sure I can singularly focus. And also it also prevents me from getting too far ahead at the same time, which is kind of a problem.
Mm.
Like if I was able to multitask better, I could probably work on 3 or 4 videos and get ahead and release some pressure when I have to travel and I can't work on stuff. But
Yeah,
I'm never
true.
able to do that. I prefer to just take videos one at a time, finish a project. It's awesome. It goes out there, start working on the next one. So that's just how
Yeah.
my brain works. And so I'm kind of just embraced that.
Mm.
So I don't really see myself getting burnt out if I keep that focus.
If you
Right.
come up with something that, well, when you go back to streaming and it won't be gameplay, you said, if you can figure out like something that you can stream that is also like a video topic essentially, that also work, you can turn into a YouTube video as well. That's like a real time and energy saver.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
If
I
I could
wouldn't have
do
been able to
that.
do what I do if I didn't have that crossover between my content, because my Twitch content would suffer, YouTube content would suffer, and my
Yeah.
motivation and energy that I have to put into improving as a Rocket League caster would suffer. You like, I think maximizing your time efficiency in that regard is something that a lot of even pro gamers get wrong. They get, they upload a video every day for 2 months, and then they're like, ah, I expected I would get more out of this, and they're just super burnt out because they've been working hard every day, no breaks, and then they're just like, they stop forever. They just stop uploading.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
You don't
they'll
want to do
stream
that.
every day for a month, and they just stop forever, because they didn't have a good like management time plan. Didn't hire an editor, like trying to get the most out of their time possible to stop burnout, which is even worse if you're a pro player because you have to play the game as well. Like,
Yep.
we don't have to actually play, we just do because we like it.
Yeah. Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to be faced with reality, and you have to be able to judge. I think a really important skill is being able to figure out when you're putting too much time in and not getting the return, or putting too much work into it and not getting either enjoyment or some kind of return as far as views or money. Like one of those 3 things you gotta, ideally it's all 3. You're
It's
getting
really all,
views,
yeah.
paid, and you're enjoying it, which is,
That's the dream, yeah.
that's what I'm doing, which is great. But
Mhm.
sometimes, if you don't get one of those things, you have to at least get 2.
True.
So
Very true.
for the hard work, especially if it's really hard.
Mhm.
If
On
it's easy, then it's like it's fine if you just get one of those things.
Mhm.
on that note, I'm sure you heard at the beginning of the podcast, I recently bought the domain smelly.af.
I did hear that.
And it is the start of a blossoming YouTube content creation empire. What?
I'm gonna go to it right now.
What kinds of? Oh, you're gonna love it, man.
You're gonna be disappointed.
Excuse me.
You're gonna be like,
This is
whoa.
incredible. I love it. It's a pizza. That's all I need. I'm entering my email.
This is, I mean, that's how it works. This is where you find out when the YouTube goes live and when the podcast actually makes it onto the 400 platforms that people have asked me if the podcast is going to be on. Most of the questions are like, when's it going to be on Spotify and Google Play or whatever? But, occasionally somebody's like, when's it going to be on Super Podcast app? And I'm like, very soon, very soon. Anyway, what are your general tips for a brand new YouTuber?
Space out your content, like have a plan, have good ideas. So like sit down and make sure your ideas are good and clickable before you start. so you're not wasting your time working on stuff that no one's going to click on. And yeah, that's about it, actually.
Nice.
Do it. Just do it.
We're definitely doing it. We're doing it. It's happening.
Obviously, you don't have too much of an issue with comparing yourself to other YouTubers because maybe with Musty, you guys have that little rivalry going on. But like when you're at when you're like a really, really big channel, feels pretty good. Numbers are killing a game, but inevitably at some point you're gonna have a month that wasn't as good as the last one, and then maybe 2 months in a row that weren't as good as the last one, 3 months, etc. What about when that happens? What's your plan? What's your advice? Have you got any experience with that? How do you
that sucks.
Get through that kind of thing?
Yeah, I've gone through those little valleys several times now. So the important thing is when you're peaking, just enjoy it and know it's going to go down. And you have to be able to sustain your content even when you're not. I mean, this is kind of relevant for when you're starting because you're not really getting a return when you start. So you have to be able to get something personally out of what you're doing, even when you're not, even that when your views are low, So yeah, that happens to me all the time. I mean, I think right now I'm actually in a slight downward trend because I had for a couple, I'm just coming off of a channel peak 2 months ago, which is great. And I didn't dive off of it. It's just kind of slowly. I think I've gone from 13 million views in a month to down to 10. So it's down what?
So you're
15,
good.
20%.
So tell us
it's fine.
Okay, is what he's saying. It's
fine, but it's coming down from a peak. So but you take these moments when it's on the lower end, and you just what I cling to is making sure I'm doing what I enjoy. I sit down and I think, what video do I want to do so much that I don't even care if it doesn't get views? That I'm just so proud of. Because the worst feeling is when you do a video that you're only doing because you're like, this will probably get views, but it sucks to make, and I'm not even proud of it. And you post it and it still doesn't do good. Then you're like, well, that's the worst feeling ever. I mean, that really is. Then you're like, not only was that terrible, I didn't enjoy it, and I also think it's terrible, and they also think it's kind of terrible. Not really terrible, but just not as good as your other stuff. So this last video I did where I coached a silver player for a month or whatever, and then they came back, and I just enjoyed that so much. And I thought the video was so good that I was like, even if this doesn't do super well, I know that I can put this out and be happy. And sure enough, now it's done well. It actually didn't have that hot of a start. It started at number 9 or 10 of my last 10 views wise, but then it picked up, and now it's the number 4 of my last 10. So it's great. And I know it'll do well in the future. That's a clickable video. So that kind of stuff is what you want to do. That's my mindset anyway, is just content that I know is good and that I really enjoy and that I'm proud of. And then you don't have to worry about everything else. Everything else will just come.
Makes sense. Somebody in in chat just pointed out that we should ask you one last thing about the Linus or the Linus Tech Tips ad that you just did.
Yes.
Tell us the story behind that, buddy.
Where did I even come up with that idea? I honestly just hit me. I was like, what if I did, because I do integrations all the time where with, Audible or Crunchyroll, they always approach us and they're like, we want this, this, and this. You talk and then you pay this much. And so I was like, oh my God, what if I'm a business? What if I advertised on someone else's channel? I was like, I wonder what Linus charges. And I was like, he's probably the biggest channel that probably charges the least amount because they do daily uploads and they always have a sponsor, which means they have a ton of slots. So they have less demand. Whereas say, for example, Mr. Beast, now obviously he's not way bigger, but he's, probably twice as big. That's the top, and his uploads aren't quite as frequent. So he's probably way out of what's affordable. But Linus was in that sweet spot of views versus affordability. So I asked my manager, Connor, to reach out to them, and they responded right away. And they're like, this is hilarious. Yeah, we'll do it. And they gave me a really good deal because they're like, you're just a YouTuber. This is awesome. So it wasn't super expensive as far as integrations go. So it was great.
Nice. Did you see good results from it?
I did. Yeah, I gained a lot. I think I gained it was totally worth it, man. The only thing I was worried about is like I gained all these subscribers that probably don't care about my content, but I literally just wanted to boost my numbers because I didn't really care about I grow my fan base through my content. So I just I literally wanted an artificial, not fake accounts, but just like I just wanted a numbers boost.
Some people might stay though. That's the thing. Like there's probably some crossover.
Exactly. I think I gained, 11K on the day, then 7, then 6. It was probably like 25,000.
Man, that's crazy.
That I got from that. So it was totally worth it for me.
Sick.
And it was funny. Like that was the other thing. I was like, even if this doesn't work, which I wasn't expecting it to gain that many. I thought maybe I'd gain like 5,000 or 10,000.
Right.
I was like, this will just be funny. Like it'll be something to talk about, and it's for shits and giggles.
Here we are.
It's hilarious.
Talking about it.
And it's like worst case scenario, I'm paying Linus. Like I love their channel. So it's like it goes to another creator. Like 100% of the money is going to them.
Yeah. Do you think that's going to be
the total win-win-win?
Do you think that's going to be the key to you dominating Musty in the race to 1 million or what?
No, I think I'm probably going to lose, but I don't like care. Oh no, I'll have 1 million subscribers. Oh, I got their third. Dang it.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things, right? That you're just like, oh yeah, let's have this competition. Let's have this competition, right, guys? Right? Racing.
Yeah,
everybody gets
I'm
something.
racing, guys.
Race. It's a race. Everybody gets something, and then actually like, oh, we lost. Ooh,
yeah.
Too bad. No, only got
I kind of paid for it though, because now I'm gonna have people talking about it all the time and rubbing it in. So I have to just live with the fact that like I started this race to benefit myself, and now I'm getting the consequences.
You both pay
but
for
I gained a shit ton of subs. Like, there's no way. If I hadn't started this race, I think I would have, at my current pace at the beginning of the year, I think I'd have like maybe 600,000 subscribers right now. Maybe
you'd probably have maybe it would have without the race. You'd probably have climbed a little bit though. But and then we still
I'm saying if I wouldn't have started the race, like the only reason I started it was
I think your pace would have like increased, or your sub growth would probably have rose.
I think
it could have.
You could pull some more stunts, man, and take this. I think you
it's
still
not out of the question.
You're so. What do you got to 953? Oh man, yeah, you could totally steal the show.
Like, why don't you?
I need a big shout out.
Why don't you release a video tomorrow that says you're gonna like delete your YouTube if you lose? And then
yeah, you just gotta do what PewDiePie did,
and then hire a publicist and
just go live stream on YouTube playing Minecraft until you overtake Musty in subscribers. You already know people are gonna start.
I just don't care enough.
Yeah, that's we're getting to the bottom of it. It's not a real race. You're not in it like PewDiePie was in the T-Series.
I think a lot of our fans think it is real though. Like I think a lot of no offense to Musty, but I think a lot of his fans think it's like super real.
Yeah,
and it's just like. I don't know. It kind of is. I just sound like someone that's like only brushing it off because I'm not going to win it. But
I mean, it's playfully real. Really makes sense.
You're too mature for this YouTube. Like
I'm not mature. I care more about views, honestly, because that's where.
That's where you're really winning. To be fair.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Now the subs are a clout thing though. Like I do admit it. Like subs are cool.
Subs is for subs is the clout, and then views is
and the plaque. Like I'm gonna get that, but I'm still getting 1 million. That's the thing. Like I don't really care if I get it a week after Musty.
Yeah, that's true. True.
Like I'll still have it.
Yeah,
very true.
The only annoying thing is I'm gonna have people saying like, "Oh, Musty beat you." So I'll just have to live with that.
That's hilarious. Oh man, yeah, but you do really crush the views game though. That's like easy peasy.
Yeah.
What's the watch time at though? If we're getting views,
I think Musty has he might have a better watch time because he has longer videos, and I know he has a better CPM. So I know he makes more than me.
Do you know what your watch time is usually? Like what would be an average view for a Sunless video?
I don't know off the top of my head. No.
What's an average length of a Sunless video actually? Is it
these days? It's about 10. But it's funny. 10 minutes.
My average watch time is longer than your videos. People fall asleep to my videos. Yeah, they're like.
My average video is 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, during Saltmine 2, my average watch time was almost 17 minutes, which I was pretty proud of.
That is crazy.
That was because the casting was so boring. We're bringing in casters like Mass and Marky, so people are proper falling asleep. Like everybody's like watching the full video, including the replayed matches.
Yeah.
There's still like a few people. You can see the percentage of people who don't click off the video when it says, "Oh, the rest is just a replay, did not spoil the result." And there's still like 2 or 1% of the viewers watching. I'm like, yeah, they fell asleep. That's it. That's my sleeping my sleeping audience right there. Yeah, that I'm like losing the subs and the views battle so hard. I got to try and think of something else. Watch time. No, yeah,
There you
average
go.
watch time. That's what
You
I'll
can brag about
tell
that.
people. The
My average
main.
watch time is nuts.
I
It's
bet
been a really long video.
I bet you could claim you're like the highest average watch time in Rocket League. Challenge somebody to
I'd be
disprove
very
it.
surprised if somebody has more average watch time than my channel. Just
Yeah.
because there's no way that they make long enough videos. There's no way.
Add this to your
Everybody's
Twitter
making short
bio,
videos.
dude.
There you
Add
go.
this to your Twitter bio. Most
Longest
Or
watch
like,
time in Rocket League.
Sunless, what's your all-time viewed minutes? 'Cause I think you got like way more views than me, but maybe I've got more minutes watched because my videos are so long.
Is that on Social Blade? No, I have to go on the
No,
actual. Let's
it's on
see.
the YouTube Studio app. Do you have the YouTube Studio app?
I do, but I
It's
also
really
have
good.
this up right here. So, all time
Oh, now you're probably gonna win. Oh, are you?
lifetime watch
Maybe.
time is 18 million hours.
Hold on, I was looking at the wrong thing. Let me just open up mine.
18.2 million hours.
Lifetime watch time. Oh wait, mine's showing in minutes. I was like, dude, I'm crushing you. It's minutes. Hold on, I gotta calculate this. How? Or why is mine showing minutes and yours just showing hours? Is yours Are you on the actual website?
Yeah, I'm on the actual website.
All right, I'll divide the minutes by 60.
Oh, you know what? I
Um,
want to see how many subs I've
20
gained.
point 20.2 million.
Wow, you have me by a mere 2 million hours.
See, it's the long ass videos, man. The ones that people fall asleep to. That's how you crush the watch time.
Yeah, there you go. You
Now
definitely have me watching.
you'll
You could really
definitely
put that
pass.
up.
You'll definitely pass that like soon though, because I think your channel's collecting like it's bumping up the overall
Just because
percentage
the
so
raw
much these
views.
days. Yeah,
I want to
you're probably
find.
gaining tons.
This is actually hilarious. I want to find how many subscribers I've gained, not including people that have unsubscribed. I wonder if I would have a million by now.
Oh yeah, you probably will have.
And
Like
that'd be really funny
so
if
many
I
people
would.
unsubscribe. I remember I
Yeah,
told
just
Rizzo.
like over the lifetime of my channel. I wonder. That'd be really funny if I was like, "Hey, yo, I hit 1 million subscribers." Actually, technically,
It's crazy. I don't
I
know
should
how
just
many
pull
other
that.
unsubbed by like the automatic system, but I remember I told Rizzo about this ages ago. I was like, look at your YouTube graph for how many people have unsubscribed to your channel on average. And it's usually like well over 100 a day. Like, or in your case, it might be like in the hundreds of a day.
Yeah,
Because
just
when you
because
get
of volume.
subs, there's so many hundreds of people
I
subscribing
can't
and then
find this
thousands of
metric
people
anymore, though.
subbing. It's kind of like it's kind of mean, you know. There's like
It
100 people every
is.
day unsubscribing. Luckily, you got like maybe in my case like 200 people subbing, so it's still like on the rise barely, but it's not reaching a million anytime soon. This is what my hairdresser, my barber always asks me, have you reached like he wants me to reach 1 million subs. I'm like, bro, you like
He's always talking to you about that. You're like, dude, just
well,
cut my
his
hair.
thing is like when he found out I was a YouTuber, his thing was very much like the subscribers. That's like, you know, his the thing
Yeah,
that matters.
right.
Like it's really like, you know, just like 4,000 more than last time, bro. It's not that different, really.
4,000 more.
Really, it's like kind of it sounds like the exact same number when you child growth is as slow as mine. But
Right, right.
I was like, that's really I'm not really I need to start a race with somebody, I suppose. That maybe I'll get some
Yeah, that'll
subs.
do it. Because that's the number that everyone sees, though, too. Because like no one sees your video views on your channel. It's just your subs.
Yeah, YouTube are really big in the subs, which is weird because I think maybe they would be able to push like more revenue on their end if they made it like more of a thing to try and get watch time. Some YouTubers would be like, "Yeah, guys, watch all my videos," and YouTube would get paid more. I don't know if they're like trying to be
Yeah,
that blatant about it, but they're kind of blatant with their trying to grow and get as much revenue as possible through ads. It's not like they're trying to
yeah,
hide that.
yeah. They are.
I think it might be a
Very
loss
true.
on YouTube side from us, like, trying to big up subs instead of things that actually gets them paid.
Right.
Subbing to a channel doesn't pay anybody. YouTube, obviously, they want people to get subs so that they'll get views, so that they'll see ads. It's all like one
Exactly.
thing to serve another.
And like they used to deliver the sub box used to be a bigger thing. Like it used to
Oh,
be
yeah.
like a window that was right there on YouTube. Was like, here's what your subscribers just uploaded today, and like they would always be new, and it was like very pushed and featured. But now it's like it's just notifications, which is like algorithm based. Like
That's
if
all
you're not,
algorithm.
they might not even deliver you that notification if you haven't watched a lot of the channel.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I wonder if that because it'll probably change again. Like, they're gonna adapt.
They change it
Probably
all the
gonna
time. They make updates
yeah,
to it all the time.
it's really annoying though. They changed the analytics page. And I'm like, I don't know where to find anything anymore. People like, I need to send my like demographics and stuff to people for like events that I've ran, and I'm like, oh, I don't even know where that is.
Yep. I'm trying to find. This whole time I've been looking through trying to find like total subscribers. Like I'm trying to look for that number we were talking about. I don't know where to find it.
So you need to find total unsubscribed. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, I want to. That's exactly, and I can't find unsubscribed.
There's too many snowflakes who are offended by that, and they get really like depressed.
Maybe they took it out because it was depressing. Yeah, you might be right, because I remember looking at it before, and I could.
It was there, yeah.
Yeah, I could find. I was like, oh, that video did suck, and there's like you can see where people unsubscribed after a video. That's where most people. Well, that's when they mostly unsubscribe, because
when you upload, which is really funny, right?
Like, yeah, you think about, they're like, this is the last straw.
every time you upload, like a bunch of people are like,
oh, yeah,
like hundreds of people probably. They're like, oh man, this guy again, just unsub. Don't want to see that guy's video pop up anymore.
Subscribers lost. I found it.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Lifetime. Here we go. I have lost 100,000.
Oh,
which means I have gained over 1 million.
Oh, you got to tweet this out. Right before Musty hits 1 million, you should tweet this out. Like,
yeah, that'll be my countermeasure.
Honestly, if you just went live on
I'll be like, well, technically, I actually did gain 1 million first.
Wasn't the biggest thing, or the biggest things that PewDiePie did for himself to win that, or to get back ahead of T-Series, was making diss tracks and live streaming video games on YouTube. So that would be the diss track. Yeah, you should have made a diss track and then live streamed Minecraft, Fall Guys, all these other big games, and the title has to say, "I'm streaming this till I pass Musty in subs." People were subbing. It didn't work for PewDiePie. So many people were subbing. It was like you could thousands of subs.
What if I did a sub marathon on YouTube?
Yeah, of course, dude. You're missing some opportunities to do some really fun shit.
Yeah, that would make it even bigger if you've never streamed to YouTube before.
What if I did like a 48-hour stream, or even longer? Like I literally just streamed.
Don't make it a time. Just say I'm streaming till I pass Musty in subs. Live streaming Minecraft till I overtake Musty. You should do this. Then Musty's gonna panic. He's gonna be like, I'm streaming as well, and he's gonna like start streaming to YouTube instead of.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if I'd do Minecraft though.
Minecraft is just like the video, right? You got to do something that's really stupid. Fall Guys, maybe.
I mean,
it's gotta be Rocket League.
You can do a lot of stuff. You can do a lot of stuff, but I mean, the more important thing is that you like make it like this stand that you're taking. You know, you make it a thing, an event.
That's what I'm saying.
And then what could you call the move? That's the interesting thing, right? We got Musty Flick, but like you could now name like this the Sunless something. You know, like the Sunless takeover or something like that.
I'd have to name the maneuver for sure.
Yeah.
That'd be important.
The Sunless, it goes well with Khan, actually. The takeover, it goes well with Khan. Like Genghis Khan.
Right. True.
Man.
Well, I lost a lot of subs on pros.
Sunless,
wow, that one lost me a lot.
Get off your analytics, get live streaming. You need to overtake Musty, dude. Actually, like the thing is, though, it would actually just blow up both of your channels, and it'll probably be the Kickstarter for the race to 2 million. You know,
it probably would benefit Musty.
As soon as if he beats you to 1 million, you're like, just kidding. You thought this was the race. Actually, the real
race begins.
Or 10 million, and then you just like go in again, and then all the fanboys start making the new Gmail accounts so they can sub again and again and again. To win the giveaway Musty's doing, like 1,000. He's doing like a money giveaway or something to his subs. I think somebody.
Yeah, he's giving away the bet we made. So we actually made a bet for $1,000. So he's giving away the $1,000 that he's presumably going to win from me.
Buying subs too. You both bought subs. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
True. We're desperate.
But yeah, I mean, clearly, it's just like it's definitely a way to generate tons of subs on 2 channels. It's mad.
Really, that's what it's benefited both of us.
I think it's decided. We need to wrap up the podcast so you can start your marathon stream to overtake Musty.
Yeah. Now we'll know where I got the ideas from this podcast.
Exactly. Credit you guys. We'll wait to publish it.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah,
we don't want anyone knowing I don't want Musty to figger out what's coming up.
He's probably booked the YouTube stream right now. He's like,
yeah, he's probably been watching this podcast and he's ready.
I bet if you lost at the last minute, like you don't really seem to care too much, but if you lost from a winning position in the last like
I think he would take it kind of hard.
I don't know Musty at all, but I can't imagine because he's probably like getting ready, feeling good about it. He's like, "Oh man, we're about to win. Oh, we're getting close." Just like counting down the days, and then he loses. He'd be like,
brutal.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna think about doing that. I gotta do it soon because I think he's gonna hit it in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just do it. Win or lose, it would be funny. It would be more drama, more clicks for both of you. It's a win-win. So
yeah, sounds like a good time.
You'd probably start streaming. You both just be streaming on YouTube. That's how it's gonna happen.
Sounds like a good time for sure. All right, let's wrap this thing up, boys. Sunless, thank you so much for coming on the pod. Johnny, thank you for co-hosting as always.
Thank you, Matt.
Craig, thank you for recording us in multi-track format. Appreciate you, Craig.
Thank you, Craig.
Craigbot. All right, guys.
All right, man.
I'm going to go to the outro, and you guys have a good night.
See you, dude. All right, later.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to the Saltcast. You can find all the episodes, links to the YouTube and Twitch, and everything else you need in your life at my site, smelly.af. Head over there, and I'll see you in the chat for the next show.